one of so I'll let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. I've wanted to have put out a survey for the family of this show, and I said yesterday, you know what? I'm going to get this done. So,
Nice.
alert, alert! It's coming. I'd say in the next 2 weeks. In the next 2 weeks, you'll be seeing a link to click on a survey for the family of the Morning Vibe, so we can improve the show. We want to get the input from you. So
Okay,
the survey
yes.
is done, but I just want to send it to someone to get their take on it. And I that's one of the things I've got to do right after today's show. I'm going to send it to that person, get their feedback. So get ready, get ready. I don't want to play this year. I'm sending a survey out before the
Okay,
end of
saying
this
like
month.
this week. Oh, end of this month. All right.
Well, it all depends on this other person's schedule. Like I want to get their feedback. Oh, Fit Nancy IQ says a survey. Okay. And JG Mars, did your Canadian PM resign or vote out? Well, we're going to talk about that.
That is all happening
What?
this week. We'll see
Yeah,
what happens.
we're going to talk about that. That is something we're going to talk about. Uh, you know. Oh, so
So
one of
apparently
our
they can't vote him out. So there's no way for them to collectively get him out. He has to resign. So they're supposed to have a meeting today. So we'll
yeah,
see.
I was going to hold for that till after the break, but people have already jumped in about it. But getting back to the holiday season, yeah, mine was good. I definitely ate a little bit too much, so it's now to rein everything back in.
Gotcha.
Which
Yes.
which makes it to a week from today. We'll have Carolyn Nicole back on the Morning Vibe for her monthly visit, so should be very interesting. And
Nice.
I'm also putting it out there. I'll probably do another juice fast sometime this month.
Oh, nice. Yes.
So but yeah, the holiday season was good. Like I said, got a lot of things done, and I said no, I want to kick it off right with getting that survey out because we are overdue for a survey. I was chatting with one of our recent friends that was on the show, and I said, a survey. So Fitness IQ she's asked me to review one of her surveys, so that's going to get done this week. So no better time to do a survey than the first thing in the year, right after the holidays. Get that data right up front. But yeah, happy New Year to you, because you weren't on Friday's show.
Yes.
We had Wayne Harris, who was fire as usual.
Nice,
We went
nice.
he had 12 points that he wanted to share. We didn't get to any of them.
Oh my goodness.
So we were in real deep, so he's gonna come back and give them
Yes.
next month. But it was really
So if you didn't get to his points, what was the main thing that you guys went back and forth on?
I guess we talked about he did cover one of the points, but he also had about how to handle the Christmas credit card bills.
Oh boy, yes. I'll definitely go back and rewatch that one.
Yes. And also he did a review from his lens, financial education wise, of 2024.
Okay, nice.
He was also going to talk about this recent report by Dr. Pierre's organization about Black graduates.
Okay.
And how that they are not faring too well.
So you mean after graduating, not being able to find employment? Oh man. And you wonder, like, that has been an issue for at least a decade, and it's not getting any better. That's problematic.
Yeah. So I hope, hopefully he'll get to that next month, but he had some things he wanted to chat about. I said, wait, no problem, because whenever you're on, the information is green, as we call it, evergreen. It's good at any time. So he has evergreen stuff to so that's what's going to happen. But yeah, that was it. But so how has the new year been for you so far?
I'd say a mix of not wanting to do too much work in the holidays, but also I feel everything that I got done was bonus, because the official clock starts today, I would say. So anything that was on my to-do list, as I was able to pick away at it during the break when, things are calm, I considered that bonus, but not like beating myself up for not doing too much work, because there was a to-do list and you're like, oh, I need to get these off my plate. But, forgiving myself for taking a break and just hanging out with the family, getting to do more activities with the kids. So that was fun. And yeah, so we're going to see how to take a little bit of that into the new year, 2025. I want to see that more of a balance where it's not just pure go business, although there is going to be a heavy push. We got like Detail Ignites growing, ACBN's also growing. So seeing where the focus is going to be and leaning in.
Oh, well, you have a symposium coming up too.
Yes. So mark your calendars, March 29th, the ACBN Legacy Symposium. And the theme this year is building wealth through franchising, but it's really more about building business systems. So having a system that could be franchised or that is sellable. A lot of times we're running businesses that are really not as valuable as we think they are because we don't have strong systems in place. So being able to learn from those that have built franchises. So Brian Scudamore, who's the dragon that invested in Detail Ignites on the Dragon's Den show, he's going to be the featured keynote. We have some franchise consultants showing us how to build out stronger business systems. So Melissa Cadigan from Hot Perspectives, Chris Beth Cowie from Empowered Forex, and of course, our closing keynote that's becoming a bit of a tradition, Dr. George Fraser is going to be back talking about how to now expand your company internationally and definitely across North America as he's done with FraserNet. So looking forward to that. And again, the invite for people to be there for the facilitators, the speed networking roundtable. That's where we're hoping Dr. Vibe has cleared his calendar so that he could be one of the facilitators.
It's there. It's there. I put it. It's marked down on the calendar. Actually, talking about Dr. Fraser, what he talked about at last year's symposium has become front awareness for a lot of Black people. How he talked about the Black family. Remember how he gave the statistics? And that was so he started talking about that last year, and now in a lot of feeds that are Black based, that's being talked about.
Because people are seeing that's a strong foundation that
is
and missing. So
Black family. Let me ask you, you have a to-do list. Is there anything on your to-learn list?
A big thing that's on my to-learn list, and it's actually something that I've challenged myself to dig deeper into it, is all this hype about AI. I definitely love it and pick around and kind of test it with different things. And of course, love ChatGPT and Claude, but I challenged myself to lean in and learn something new every single day. So I actually started like an evening podcast called The Night Owl, where I just look at AI tools and,
hold on. When did this start?
It's been every night since the 1st of January. So I challenged myself for 365. So every night I'm going to be on just talking about an AI tool that I found. So I want to see how AI can now streamline a lot of the things that we do. I do a lot of manual prospecting, and I'm hoping that there's tools out there. The big hype now is AI agents. So AI that can actually execute tasks. So I've been trying to test different ones that have come out to say like, hey, can you go into my email, read it, summarize it, and respond? Like that kind of AI tool. So we'll see if it lives up to the hype.
We're going to go on a break because you just like conveniently just pulled this out of nowhere. And we're going to talk about, and I'll give you some perspective because I went to an event. Okay, let's stop. Well, there's a whole bunch of things I can share with yourself and everyone about this. So we are going to take a break. When we come back, there's some comments we have to catch up on, and also we'll talk about AI. We'll talk about Canadian Prime Minister. We'll also talk about missing Black boys in the Toronto area. We need to chat about that. So keep it locked. We'll be back in a few moments on The Morning Vibe.
Hi, everyone. I was just on the Dr. Vibe show a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to talk about how wonderful the experience was. I was there to talk about a Buy Blacks article, but what I really appreciated about being on the Dr. Vibe morning show was that very quickly as my story started to unfold, Dr. Vibe was able to pivot, ask really interesting questions to give the context to the audience and listener about why the article was personal to me, who I am as an author and writer, and give all of that additional context so that the audience understands the perspective that I'm speaking from, which I think is very, very important in journalism. It was a warm experience and invitation. I had a wonderful time being on, and I would recommend anyone else interested in participating on the Dr. Vibe Morning Show do so, because it's a wonderful time.
Thank you, Hilly LeBlanc Media.
Thank
Hilly
you.
LeBlanc, good to have you here. So you are watching the first Monday of 2025 edition of the Morning Vibe. Just do a check and subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Haven't hit 1,640 subscribers yet, but we're getting closer. Also, if you haven't subscribed and you're up to it, please subscribe. Also, like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Also,
Question about subscription. So people that subscribe to you on YouTube, is there ways to like message them?
no, not directly, but one of the tools that YouTube does has, you can do community posts. So
Gotcha.
you can do a post, and then people will get notified that something new has gone on your YouTube platform. But you
Okay.
can't message them individually, but you can do a sort of like a group post.
Gotcha.
All right. So to advertise your business service product on our show or any of the platforms that I'm on, email me, dr.vibe at the dr.vibeshow.com. Also, join our Discord group. I've been doing some more posts. That's one of the things I had a chance to do over the holidays. I did actually a happy holidays and happy 2025 posts. I did one of those, and I did a posting of the link for Wayne Harris's appearance replay. So there's some more coming. And then, of course, Indie Soup Media, ran by our good friend Dr. Tachi out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. About 30 independent content creators doing great content. Some of the stuff that I do and myself and Ryan do is on that platform. So that's the website, but also go to Indie Soup Media. I'm going to actually update that, Indie Soup Media on YouTube. And speaking about Dr. Tachi, why the mouse is not working properly today? Okay, there we go. Coming up on this Friday show, Dr. Tachi will be talking about 2024, the year in media, tech, and pop culture. So do not miss that. Dr. Tachi will be front and center stage, not in the comments. All right, so actually we have some things. Also want to shout out some people. JJ Marr says, I'm not familiar with your political system and process. Well, we're going to familiarize a little bit in a few moments. Also, the McMillan Group, there we go, is asking, what are the dates for this year's event, Ryan? So please repeat.
Yes, so it's March 29th, the Saturday, March 29th, coming up at Sheridan College, again, Mississauga campus, Hazel McCallion campus.
Yes, so that will be a good thing. Let's maybe Ray will be a bit maybe there for it. All right. Also, good morning, Christy White. Good to see you here. Hope you and your son and your community are fine and safe. Wishing the Indigenous community a happy and blessed 2025. Fraser Ramsey, all the way, I believe, in Scotland, is saying good day. And it says, Happy New Year to you, lads. And this lady's becoming somewhat of a regular on my platform. Joss Toronado, good morning from Houston, Texas. And again, I encourage, if you want some great motivation, inspiration, check out her posts. I'm now become a regular to her posts. Hopefully I can be up early enough to catch her morning shows during Monday to Friday, I believe 6:30 in the morning Eastern time, but she does great community posts, and I actually shared some of them with some people this weekend, just Tornado. So fantastic to have you here. So getting back to your AI thing. So is this audio, video, what? And how is it spelled? Is it KN?
Oh yeah, Night Owl. So KNIGHT, yes.
So is it live? Is it live? Is it pre-recorded? Is it what?
It is live. So we're using StreamYard. So I'm definitely a fan of this platform, thanks to learning a bit from you. But I just turn on the camera, share my screen, and
go.
So far, so we're actually testing out animating the book that I wrote with my daughter, the more Jazz and Dad Start a Lemonade Stand. So I'll send you some of the clips of the pictures,
Okay.
AI trying to animate them. It's like definitely hit or miss. I think we're at about 50-50 of AI going rogue or it actually producing something decent. So, and then there's a platform called Do Browser that's an AI agent that can really do tasks on your browser. So we've been trying to test that out. It's definitely in its infancy. So yeah, we just want to try and find more AI tools anytime. Like the internet, there's so many people talking about this. I think 200 or 2 to 300 new AI tools that come out every week. Apparently. So keeping on top of it is insane. So I just try to find one or two that are interesting and
just take a look at it. Yeah, just do it in real time.
Yeah.
See, so this is part of my philosophy with things that you don't have it perfectly set up. You just start, just do it, just go on and don't get good, get done. Just put it out there.
Just press play, man.
So we've got some. So Fraser says, back to the grind for every business, everyone's business and business. Yes. Yep. Sophia.
Yes.
So Jay says, Happy New Year, Dr. Vibe and Ryan with a question mark. I hope no question mark. And yes, Christy White, Christy White, who actually is a book author, she goes, what was the name of the book again?
Oh, yes.
Put it up.
Jazz and Dad Start a Lemonade Stand. Okay. Written by Ryan Knight and Jasmine Knight and illustrated by Earl Houghton, a gentleman in Jamaica that we found on Fiverr. And then he's become like a family friend, being able to take pictures of myself and my daughter, Jasmine. And I think he did a pretty good job of getting our resemblance and putting it into the book. So I always want to give a shout out to him. So yes, so Jazz and Dad Start a Lemonade Stand.
This is good.
And sorry, it's about
keep on going.
It's about Jasmine who tries to ask her parents to buy a doll for her, and her parents deny it or say no, and ask her instead, if we won't buy it for you, what can you do to buy the doll? So she goes through a couple options and realizes that she could start a business and earn the money herself. So she starts a lemonade stand. And so check the book to see if she is able to earn enough. It goes through a bit of the ups and downs of entrepreneurship and definitely the core foundations of starting a business. Knowing what expenses you have and how to make enough money to actually cover the cost of what you want to buy.
Nice.
And that's a big thing that's on my to-do list, is to actually reach out to more schools and say like, hey, this is a book that we'd love to get into the school, or just do like a workshop about entrepreneurship.
There you go.
Read the book. So that's always been in the back of my mind. I mean, it's been 3 years since the book's been out. So yeah, I want to start doing more speaking about it.
So family, there's a person who's leveraging their credibility.
Aha!
Aha! Okay,
yes.
Look at this. So Christy White says, add it to our library.
What? 100%. I don't know if you want how to share the link or.
You can do if you. Well, Christy, why don't? Okay, so what I'm going to do back channel wise, I think I still have your email address. So if you have mine, Christy, I can put it up. Get in contact with you, and you can get in contact with Ryan, because I was going to mention too, on our Saturday show, Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala, Aisha K. Staggers is just getting ready. I know she's going to be launching her book, and she connected with Christy, and I think Christy got her an illustrator for her book, and the stuff the illustrator did was amazing.
Oh man, that's sweet.
Amazing. So I want to give a big shout out to Christy. Connect us. So Christy's saying, connect us. Okay, we will make that happen.
That would be great.
That will make that happen. So this is good. And Fraser Ramsey says, hi, Sophia. Greetings from Edinburgh, Scotland. I was correct. I was correct. And this is someone new. Beauty industry experts team. Healthier and wealthier rising, Dr. Vibe. Super excited to hear for this great information. Best way to start off the new year right. It should be RIGHT, but we'll take the RIT. All right. If my dad was here, he'd correct, saying that's not right. RIGHT. But we get the meaning. We use Black English here, so that's all right. Black English. All right. So let's and thanks, people. Keep on the comments rolling in. Let's get back to the AI thing. So, what was the thought process to start this show?
Because downtime, you're going through YouTube, and then I went down a rabbit hole of, because there was a lot of new announcements coming to the end of the year. It was like every video was new tool, AI agents. Like, it was just, so I'm like, you know what? The only way I'm gonna learn this stuff is to actually force myself to test them. So I said, what better way to put pressure than to start a show that I have to show up at a certain time every day and test out AI. So I was watching a lot of YouTube videos about them, and then I was just like, yeah, it's too much was like passive, just hearing about information. I actually need to test them and then see what works and what doesn't. Otherwise, it's such overload. Like, there's so many different tools, and then each of them are now costing a good amount. So if you try to test too many, it can get really expensive. So that was a way for me to put pressure on myself to actually test and do the work of sampling AI tools instead of just watching a video about it and parking it somewhere.
All right.
But I'm curious, are there any AI tools that you've started to use that you really like?
I don't use too many of them. Like right now, I know there's tools out there that do audio and video editing, but I have a team that does that.
Right.
So I still as much want to have a human component as possible. I do use one to generate clips for YouTube and Instagram, and it's pretty good.
Right.
But that so it's a really good one. And periodically I will use ChatGPT. Actually, there's an online software that allows me to use the latest version, a latest version of ChatGPT for free.
Nice.
But it only allows you to use it so much per day. But it actually has a whole bunch of AI software, some free, some not, all in one place.
Okay.
You don't have to search around.
What is this? Like, is that?
You know what? I will let people ask me in our Discord group.
All right, nice.
Well, the Discord group people will find out first. I will say down the road, and it's a great tool, and they actually just released some other free AI software just in the last 2 weeks or so that I've got to test out. So, this may be interesting, but I do use it for some research. I don't let it direct me. I use it as a thought starter. One of the things when it comes to AI, a few things. First of all, my main mentor, and people will know, I'm not going to say who it is, but if you know me enough, you know who it is. He actually created a whole platform of what he does via AI.
Nice.
A whole platform. He created a course via AI, whole 9 yards. And this is like a year ago. He's way right. He has really gone to the next level creative. So he has basically created his own curriculum for his students.
Excellent. Nice.
Whole thing via AI. So it's been a great thing. So we've got some more comments here. Happy New Year, Frequency Event Promotions, Dr. Vibe and Ryan. He actually hung out last night in our Black Men Can Talk show. Sophia,
and event coming up January 15th. So I know Chris Beth Cowie's the featured speaker.
Yes, we've been doing
mixer.
We did some promos for him on the platform over the holiday season. So that is great. And thank you for the opportunity to do that, Christopher. Sophia says, Ryan, connect with blackbookfair.com, Authors Collective, great resource for local Afro-Caribbean authors. So
nice. Let me check that.
I'll keep that up on the screen so Ryan can copy that down.
LK, right? Yeah. Fair.
And I saw some posts. There was a lady who used to do annual book fairs, and she's
All
been
right,
doing,
I got it.
yeah, and I can't remember. All right, you can take that one down. Good stuff. Frequency Member says, Happy New Year, everyone, and all the best for this year and beyond, like that. Sophia is saying hi back to Fraser. Hi, hello, says Fraser Ramsey. Hello from Brampton, Canada. So we got content across the ocean today. We are going across the ocean. Yeah. So yeah, getting back to the AI thing. Yeah. So I don't use it to like, I do use it for research. But it doesn't, I don't copy it verbatim. I use it as research and say, okay, how can I put my spin out? But for thought creation, yes, I do use it. I do use it for thought.
Yeah, and it's definitely amazing for, like you said, when you have a blank canvas to say like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And then it gives you kind of like a first draft, and then you're able to go in and customize it. But I'll say the more that I use ChatGPT, the more it starts to talk like me. And the editing is a lot less than I've had to do, because before it was very like robotic and static, and it's like, okay, you can definitely tell that an AI generated this. But as you tell us, like I like upload emails that I've written, I upload different applications that I've written, and it starts to get the like my feeling, my voice, I would say. So it definitely improves, and that's where people are talking about, 5 years from now, AI being like unrecognizable and smarter than humans. I am predicting it's going to be this year where AI just starts to branch out on its own, because they said once AI agents can talk to each other and do work and prompt each other, it's pretty much game over with humans having to do those types of tasks. So I'm thinking that's going to happen this year.
Interesting enough, in regards to that, one of the best things I attended last year was a business organization that I really love, and they're so kind. They invite me every few months. They have get-togethers, morning breakfasts, and they're usually $500 a pop, and I get to go for free. And the last one they had was all about AI. And
nice. Yes.
So it started at 8 o'clock, and went from 8 to 9 was breakfast, and then 9 o'clock they had an incredible Black gentleman. What's his name? I'll look it up, and I can look it up. He did a 1-hour presentation or sharing session about AI and EI. Woo! Was that good?
Gotcha.
That was absolute. And actually,
so AI is what? Emotional intelligence?
Yes, artificial intelligence and emotional intelligence.
Gotcha. Nice.
And it was for leaders and high-level CEOs. Now, whenever I go to things like that, one of my words is always documentation. So there I was, front row, swinging around my iPad, and I recorded the whole thing.
Nice. Yes.
And it was a great presentation. So what I'm going to do, probably in the next week or two, the next time we do one of these, I'll actually show some of the presentation.
All right, sweet. And that's one thing I wanted to get better at too, because when I go to events, we're typically capturing it, and my Google Photos drive is like full of pictures from events. So I'm curious, what do you typically do? Because I see always capture like events that you go to. Do you find that you share it enough, or is it more just for personal archiving?
You know what? I sometimes share it to the public, but what I do is I share it with people who I know need it.
Yes. Gotcha.
So I'll give a perfect example. We recently had Judy Stewart, Trey Souls,
right,
on the show, and we had a conversation last week. And these days I'm blessed to have a lot of documentation, a lot of content. So she hit on a subject, and I said, okay, hold on. So I went into my digital library and I showed her something.
Yes.
I showed her something. A lot of people, more and more people are starting to approach me finally about sponsorship. I will show them conversations I've had with Mario Armstrong.
Right. Yes.
So I don't go to events. I'm very strategic on what events I go to. And the ones I do go to, I will. I don't put it out there that much, probably because they're long. I can do a snippet of it, but more often, people who, when we have offline conversations, that's who I show bits of to. But I do, and I probably should document a little bit more publicly. But right now, I just do it with certain people. Like again, when I was at your event in Ottawa, that sharing session I did there, showing bits and pieces to people about sponsorship. But then I also will bring in Mario Armstrong, who has a lot more credibility than myself, and a light bulb goes on. I can see it, but the people get it because it's a different mode of thinking.
Okay,
so that's what I do. And probably I should maybe share a little bit more. That's a potential. That's potential.
And since you have the team now, you should get them to create a highlight reel for you.
They are. That's already being worked on. That's already been worked on. I'm definitely in the next 3 months will have about 3 or 4 different sizzle reels of myself.
Okay, sweet.
But here's another thing. Coming back to over the holiday season, part of my mind, there was a gentleman, and I think I may have said this before. I maybe repeat myself if I am. Sorry, but there was a gentleman who reached out to me from the senior vice president of one of Canada's top 10 companies.
Okay.
On LinkedIn. I'm going, So I say, you know what? What I'll do is I'll wait for him to come back from the holidays. I said no. So, and I was procrastinating. And then about last week, I said, you know what? I'm going to send him a video introduction. I sent him a video introduction. He opened it up within 2 hours.
Okay.
Now, he hasn't answered it. He hasn't responded to me, but he's opened it up.
Right.
But I did say in my video, if I don't hear back from you within a week, I'll follow up with you. So it's marked down this week when I'm going to follow up with him. Now, just a little bit of suggestion. When you do a follow-up with someone, don't put in your subject line following up. Put something different.
Right.
Put something different. Put something different. All right. Wow, look at we got some other people here this morning. All right. What? Okay. Frequency Event Promotion says, yes, Ryan, Network Mixer is January 15th next week, having to deal with leveraging AI and how this technology can create marketing opportunities for your business.
Absolutely.
I think that's what Chris Beth is chatting about, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. So I definitely.
There you go. And there's Kofi Coach. $500? Them a serve caviar? No, but the thing is, they're serving stuff better than caviar. They're serving serious information that you can use at a high level. And actually, it was a great event because they had this gentleman talk about AI and EI for an hour. There was a break. Then they had 4 top foreign business leaders talking about what impact is AI going to have in the next 10 years.
Okay, right.
That's recorded too.
Nice.
So people who reach out to me, I can maybe share some of that for you. And then final part was there was a gentleman who teaches at the Rothman School of Business, but he travels all around the world. Top authority about AI. Like he was involved when Mr. Elon Musk was beginning his AI journey with OpenAI, and Elon Musk had an office here in Toronto that was working on it in its early days.
What? I did not know that. Look at that.
and it was amazing because and he was great. And we went on a little break. We came back, and he said, "Do anyone have any questions?" And I asked him, "How is AI going to impact HR?" And he went deep into that. He went deep, and I've got a recording of that too. So that was really.
Did you ever find the recording of your drive with Dr. George Fraser? I remember.
Really good point. The intern who did that, and the thing is, he sent me the videos. They weren't playing on my end. I said, "Are they playing on your end?" He says, "Yes." But I don't know what's happening. I think he's been going through some personal challenges. He had some health challenges, but I have them, but they're no audio. So this year, this year I need to. So I hope I'm speaking that you'll give me the opportunity to pick him up again this year. I'm gonna get a student, or I just even do it myself. I'll just say I'll do it even on my phone. Drive with one. Got to be careful. One hand. I got to do that again. But yeah, remind me of that. I got to see if I can reach out to him again, because I need those. I need those.
Yeah, it just flashed in my head as you were talking.
Thank you for reminding me. But so Frequency Event Promotions goes Kofi Coach or fried escargot. No, it wasn't. But the breakfast was good. The food there was good. Good morning, Dr. Tachi. What is up? Go check her out. Frequency Event Promotions says yes. Dr. Vi featured guest is Chris Beth Cowie. Kofi Coach says AI and EI a powerful. Oh yeah, that chat. Okay, okay. So next time it's just myself and Ryan. I will bring on that video and play a bit of it.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really good. Like if I was really crazy, I could go upstairs and get it, but I don't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation. Kofi Coach says Grand Rising, Gentlemen, and Morning Grinders. I love that. Morning Grinders.
That's it.
Morning Grinders. But yeah, that was an amazing. That morning, after leaving, I just went home and I just didn't turn on the radio when I was driving home. Just like
just the process, right? Just to yeah. Oh, so true.
Okay, now I'm back giving heavy knowledge about that. I got to see if I can get him back on. I reached out to him a while back. He said, I don't know, but I can use a carrot of the stick, because he asked me after, I saw that you recorded. I go, yes. Says, can you get me a copy? So I say, well, can I get you, but could you just come on my morning show and talk about it?
True.
Weekend night, the barter. That's up, but it was it was so good. It was so, yeah, I'm gonna put that on this because he's engaged to get married, so I gotta send him a happy 2025 video message, and also just see if there's anything I can do to help him. But that presentation, yeah, and the gentleman who runs the organization, he is at. People may not know this name. A gentleman named Daniel Goleman, who basically is basically regarded as a father of EI. He said this gentleman's at Daniel Goleman level, and this guy lives in the Greater Toronto area, and he does presentations all over the world in regards to EI. So, know what?
Go ahead. Yeah,
it's too bad because I should have asked if you were looking for. Well, you already got heavy hitter speakers, but maybe for next year's symposium, have this gentleman talk.
Would love to definitely talk about that, because I think even we want to touch on elements of AI, but it wasn't like a feature. But yeah, I would love to see if
AI and EI
prior, because we had the conference in Ottawa, or not in Ottawa. In October. So that one will
you have another one in this year again.
So the Black Entrepreneurship Ecosystem.
Okay, conference. Yeah, okay. This is something I wanted to chat with you about, and I said,
oh right,
okay, all right. So we're gonna pivot. So for those people who know or don't know, the Canadian government has now given another bunch of money for Black Entrepreneurship Program. So where does this stand?
So. And to JJ Mars's comment, how political or the process in Canada works when things are announced. So the budget, I think it comes out in the spring and the fall. So the fall economic statement, and man, because this announcement, the fall economic statement, was also the day that Chrystia Freeland resigned. So it was like an interesting day. So in the fall economic statement, there was mention of the renewal of the Black Entrepreneurship Program. So I believe 189 or 179 million,
something like that, 180
over 5 years. So now when this gets announced, and again, a lot of other things announced in the fall economic statement, of course, it's like the budget for Canada, it has to go to vote in the House of Commons. So nothing is official until it passes the vote. So now it was great news to hear it in the economic statement, because in the spring economic statement, there was no mention of the Black Entrepreneurship Program. So there's a lot of advocacy done through like the FACE Coalition, Group 3737, and just a lot of organizations come together and say we need to get this at least into the economic statement. So thumbs up, that was done, mentioned that it's going to be renewed. But now with Chrystia Freeland resigning, who was the finance minister and the deputy prime minister, also Sean Fraser, the minister of housing, also saying he's not. So Chrystia Freeland is still going to run again, but Sean Fraser said he's not running again, and he's stepping out of cabinet. So there was a big cabinet shuffle later in the week. It's just been, and so now JJ Mars mentioned our prime minister is meeting with the MPs because there's been a lot of pressure for him to actually resign. And there's talks of Mark Carney wanting to run for leadership.
He's not. He's not.
Oh, did he say that? Okay.
I don't think he's going. I don't know about he. I don't think he's going to be part of this administration. He may or may not run, but I was listening to reports over the last few days that if Ms. Freeland was the leader, she will increase the Liberal Party's popularity, but not as close as Mr. Poilievre. And then on my YouTube feed last night, I noticed that Mr. Poilievre has done a recent interview with Jordan Peterson, which is another conversation.
I did see that pop on my YouTube. I haven't watched it yet, though.
And you see how many views? You know how many views it's gotten?
No.
Over 2 million views.
Wow. It's definitely trending in that direction, that the Conservatives would win the next election. So it's interesting how the Liberal Party is going to position themselves, because hey, captain goes down with the ship. Trudeau was the reason, a big reason that they won the last, I think, 3 elections. So now it seems very interesting that they're ganging up on him to push him out before the next election happens, because who could really step in this short time frame? We saw what happened in the US when Kamala tried her best to step in, but they kept saying, okay, Biden waited too long, or should they have done a leadership race? So could the Liberals have time to now have him resign, do a proper leadership race, and then go into the election? And would that save more seats than if Trudeau just completely goes to the end? Because we saw, in the Ontario provincial government, when Kathleen Wynne went, I think she resigned during the election, but she pushed it all the way to the end, and the Liberal Party got completely eroded to the point where they didn't even win enough seats to be considered an actual
party. Yes,
a political party. So I think that's what Liberals now are fearing, is that if Trudeau takes it to the end, the party could just be eroded, and then you would have the Conservatives as a majority and for the foreseeable future. But if they right the ship somewhat, they can salvage something. So it's a lot of political theater happening right now.
Okay, so coming back though to the front of our this part of our conversation, this money for Black entrepreneurship, it hasn't been voted on though, has it?
No. So the budget has not been approved. So then there's 2 things happening. One, they might do a non-confidence vote, but I think that would happen after the budget vote. So first, and everybody's watching the NDP, because the NDP at any time can vote
bring it down
and bring it down.
Well, the leader of the NDP, Jagmeet Singh, has said he's going to bring the government down this month. So it's only a matter of time. Right. So I guess the key thing is that vote going to happen before the budget getting passed? If the budget doesn't get passed, then this entrepreneurship money isn't coming.
It's so, I guess because it's been committed in the budget. So if it does pass, it would go through. If it doesn't pass, then the Liberals would have to win the election, and then they'd be able to again put it in the budget again. So yeah, a lot is riding on this vote, and I'd have to actually check to see when they're voting on it, because that's something that we should be paying attention to. But yeah, it's not. So this is where the political theater part comes in, because now the liberals want us to promote, like, hey, this thing is put in the budget. Isn't this great news? But to me, it's not great news. It is news. It is good, but it's not great because it's not approved. So doing a lot of press releases and photographs when this thing isn't even voted through budget seems really premature. I feel like I want to see it voted through and the process to apply. Like, there's literally zero details. There's no process on how to apply for the funding. It's just talk. So I want to see it actually go through the processes. And I think that was something the first time that it was announced, I was very naive with. I didn't really understand. Oh, when they make an announcement, you think, okay, great, let's get to work.
It's just an announcement.
There is procedure and policy. So now, like, yeah, save the hype. There's no hype until.
All right. Well, okay. So here we go. We just got something here from the family. Dalton Haynes has said, breaking news at 10:45 a.m. Trudeau is making a big announcement.
Wow.
So
we're gonna come back on live and we'll watch the announcement.
It's up. It's if you're available, I have no difficulty coming back. But yeah, like let me just see. Yep, on his pill. Yep. Yeah, resign. Yep, there we go. Yep, so news conference admitted. Yep, so 10:45 this morning. Okay, the same day that U.S. Congress is to certify 47's election victory.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back up here.
Oh, wow, yeah, so 4-year anniversary of January 6th.
January 6th.
U.S. Holy crow. I think you should wait till tomorrow.
No, he did that on they did that on purpose.
You think so? Oh,
of course they did. Of course they did.
But what would that do? Just diffuse the attention, or wow? Like,
no. The Senate thing verifying his election was announced before this news announcement came. They said it specifically because they want to have people forget the insurrection and make this a celebration. And then 47 has also said that when he gets back in, he's going to pardon all the people that were part of that.
Geez,
right?
Louise.
Pardon people who want to do a government overthrow. Wow.
Well, an overthrow in his favor. So it's not out of character for him to say, like, hey, they were on my side, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
So some questions here. Frequency event promotions. Will funds be promised for BEP if there might now be a change of the government? Done. So again, Ryan just went over that.
Well, this is what happens when you don't have conversations with both sides of the political bird. So I remember getting backlash from having a picture with Pierre Poilievre because I was invited to a meeting where it was a roundtable.
Yes, I remember that.
So, and there's been other conservative MPs that, because when I send out an email to politicians, I send it to everybody. So when conservatives reach out and say, hey, we see what you're doing, we'd love to learn more, I have those meetings. NDP reaches out, I have those meetings. Liberals reach out, we have those meetings. But a lot of times when you get funding that is specific to the party, you tend to get painted with that same brush that, oh, now you only can vote for the Liberals because they funded you. And that isn't how politics work. It's to say who has the best plan for what you're doing and for the community, to hear that plan, and then you vote accordingly. But I feel we get really lumped into just picking a side where we really shouldn't be picking sides. We should be picking the best plan
for us.
But this is the thing. I haven't really heard any plan from the Conservative Party about Black people at all, especially Black business. And one thing that I'm going to notice is they typically don't do things segmented. They will just do a business plan. So now it's on us. Like, if the Conservatives come in, we have to be able to show we just know how to support business, period. The fact that we focus on Black business is, I would say, a bonus for our community. But in general, they just want to see, do you have a plan to support business that fits into how we say we want to support business. And that's how future funding will come if there is a change in government. Definitely a BEP specific Black program. I
No.
wouldn't see that continue.
I don't see
It would
that.
just be a general program.
No, again, we will be lumped in with everybody else.
Right. And that's where we just have to be the best or be as good as what they want to fund.
100%. Let's continue on. Beauty industry experts team would love to connect with Ryan with some local K-5 teachers in the local area. Great way to introduce more entrepreneurship to empower more young students. So what I will do, since if you're watching on, I don't know if you're watching on his YouTube or my YouTube, but stick around till the end. And something's going on with my camera, a little bit fuzzy for some reason.
Went out of focus.
Yeah, but we'll have his email address and you can contact him on that. JJ Mars says, I had to step away for a moment. My question, on the whole, is there any political party in your country that is sincere about helping Black people in Canada? Ouch.
Well, if we go by actionable things that were done, the Liberal Party has shown that they're willing to listen and fund Black specific programs, entrepreneurship and general capacity building for the Black community. That's where we were just talking about the Conservatives. I don't think would put specific segments on, okay, if you're going to help the community, it's going to be like a blanket program. And yes, different segments will fit in it, but we're not going to call it a Black community capacity building program. We're not going to call it the Black entrepreneurship program. It's going to be an entrepreneurship program that Black people need to fit into based on who can do the work. So, and again, sincerity, I definitely feel after meeting different ministers, Minister Valdez, Minister Ng, that they do hear that the Black community needs specific help, and they did create programs about it. So I would say in action, it's been there. It's not just talk. It's now, how do we get it renewed? And that's where, if we don't see a plan from the Conservatives, do we then push the Liberals because they have committed to say that the Black community does need this funding and we've put it in the budget? So that's, again, when we talk, I mean, we had a gentleman, Andrew Brownfield, on the show before that talks a lot about political theater and them making announcements in order to get votes. So is the timing of this, I mean, so many things come into play where it then puts you in position to, like I said, take sides. And it's like, yeah, you have to pick one checkbox. So it's now you're weighing those options and saying, who is the best for what I want to get done? And I would say the liberals have shown that they're willing to fund specific programs that I'm definitely a part of. I haven't heard the same from the Conservatives, although, hey, we definitely need to have more conversation to see what's best.
So if Prime Minister Trudeau resigns, who is the happiest person outside of Canada to hear that news?
I have no idea. You think Trump's happy about that?
Oh,
yeah. I mean,
he loves that.
Doesn't he feel that he has more, not say like power over Trudeau? He doesn't seem like he fears Trudeau at all.
He has an ally because Mr. Poilievre is more of his thinking than Mr. Trudeau.
Yeah, but do you want somebody that you can would actually go toe to toe with you, or do you want somebody?
He ain't gonna go toe to no. Poilievre will be at 47's feet.
Man, that's tough. I don't think if that happens, that he just becomes a lapdog like how Trump is to Putin, that wouldn't be impressive
but
at all.
That's what 47 wants. He wants lapdog. He wants people at his feet. Come on, 51st state.
But he said that while Trudeau is in power. That's what I'm saying. And Trudeau
but he'll even say it more now when he has more of an ally.
That would be disappointing if Poilievre is that weak that he would let Trump push that narrative even more. I think that would go against his brand because, I would be interesting to see how Trump reacts if Poilievre gets in.
So Sojay says there was a lot of interesting things that happened with the first set of funds that were allocated by the government. Do you think that will have an impact on approval aside from the political landscape?
So approval of like
another
the budget
set
going
of
through?
funds. Another set of funds.
No, I don't think it's as big a line item in the grand scheme of the financial economic statement that the Black Entrepreneur Program, like a lot of the MPs really, I don't want to say could care less, but it's like not their main priority. So how it would sway the approval process, I mean, we could definitely put pressure on the NDP as organizations that could benefit from that program to say, hey, we want to see this budget go through. And if you don't vote for it, it's not going to be like the Black business community is not going to be impressed. But like so many things are in the economic statement that I don't think we have enough political pressure that if the NDP doesn't want to vote for this budget to call an election, advocacy about this Black Entrepreneur Program isn't going to change that. Like they've chosen their path, but yeah, I don't think it would sway the approval of the budget going through.
All right. And again, folks, we're doing, Morning Vibe on January 6th, and imminent rumors is that we're going to have a resignation of a prime minister. I don't know what's happening with my camera. So, but you can hear. There we go. We're back. I said I don't know what kind of asking you shall receive. There you go. Asking you shall receive. So one of our producers says 47 and Poilievre will 100% go hand in hand with hand in hand. Poilievre wants to come after abortion laws just like 47. He wants less and less immigrants like 47. So she says there's a lot of commonalities between the two. Yeah, there are absolutely 100%. Let's go back to some comments here because they're flying in. Here we go. Dr. Tati says he is not interested in going toe to toe. Oh, okay. Well, but they had to certify the results because put that one back up. Put that one back up. All right, they had to certify the results because per the Constitution, if it's not done by the 6th, they won't be able to certify it easily. So that's another thing why the 6th. Then Dr. Tai says he is not interested in going toe-to-toe with people because he doesn't have the cognitive ability to do so. He just wants people that fear his actions and that will say yes. So he's talking about 47. Gotcha. Frequency of promotion says, and I don't have AI. My camera says your camera just needed you to say the Morning Vibe. So there you go. I didn't know that was going to happen. Saying that. Yes. So yeah. So Dalton Haynes on Facebook, and thank you for being a first timer. In the comments says, could this be a resignation news? If so, what's next? Well, what's next? If it's resignation, the Liberals have to have a leadership convention. Right. And then there has to be a decision on election date. If there is a leadership convention, I highly doubt. Well, I be nothing surprising more. I have a feeling that Miss Freeland will run, and if she runs, she will win the leadership. And it's very similar, like you said earlier on, what went on in the United States. I don't think the Liberals will win the election. I think they will do better than if Mr. Trudeau was running in the election.
See, I think the opposite. I actually think if they switch leaders, it is not going to be as good as they could have done if they just rallied behind Trudeau. And
I don't know about that.
That's what I like. Leadership changes never like they have more to lose than to gain because this person now has to within a year. Remember, the election is going to be this year, whether it's spring or October. So an election is happening. And now this person has to take over the party and because remember, there's now two sides in the Liberal Party, one that supports Trudeau and one that supports him leaving. So the new leader that comes in is going to have to get the supporters of Trudeau on their side.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but remember, politics is all about winning. So if you use the United States as an example, don't tell me that every Republican loves 47, but they want power. At the end of the game, politics is about power. Now, I hear there will be two different cohorts in the Liberal Party. Are they going to stay divided, or do they want to look, at least outwardly, unified to do the best that they can.
But we had this play out in the US. Like the Democrats pushed out Biden and said, fall in line and support Kamala. And as best they could, they showed a united front supporting Kamala going forward. But it didn't work. So
okay, so that's a matter. So the thought with a lot of people say the Democrats messed it up. Their messaging to the average American. It wasn't so much the candidate, it was the messaging that they lost connection with everyday.
This is what I'm saying.
No,
because you don't have enough time.
I don't know about the timing bit. I think it was the messaging more than the timing.
Maybe, but this is like that's the marketing of the campain.
Which is what it really gets down to, because we're only voters. We are bought. We're bought. So
this is what I'm saying. When you have the incumbent and you put all the effort behind the incumbent, it's easier to deliver the marketing message than putting somebody new and then creating the marketing message around them.
I'm not 100% sold on that.
So if Biden was of sound mind and
there you go. Well, we can only deal with what was there. Well, we have to deal with what was there, not what would be.
So this is what I'm saying. Trudeau is of sound mind. So the fact
I don't know about that. How do you tell your finance minister on a Friday that she's gone and then you expect her to deliver and that was a bad play.
These are missteps. I'm not saying he's like the best prime minister or that he is the best candidate. I'm saying him being the incumbent, if the Liberal Party all was behind him and supported him going into this election, he would do better than trying to switch him out and put somebody else new.
But I'm talking about the people who are voting. A lot of people are very tired of Trudeau. A lot of people
let him go down with the ship, and then you pick a new leader, and then that leader gets 4 years.
All right. Well, people who are watching live, we want to get your take on this because obviously Ryan and I have a polite disagreement on this. We'd like to get your takes on it. So Frequency of Air Promotions goes, Republican and conservative ideologies, perspective equate to a shared worldview, in my opinion. I don't know 100% what you mean by that. So if you can clear. Okay, Dr. Tachi says, in your opinion, is there a candidate better than Trudeau?
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Anybody that they put in place will not do as good as Trudeau if the Liberal Party just said, we are going to support this guy to the end. The fact that they're infighting and trying to get him out within like less than a year and elections happening, why would you create the infighting? This is what happened with Biden. Like, oh, now he's too old. So they create the infighting and then have to shift and should try to figure things out.
But Biden created his own mess. But Biden created his own mess initially because when he initially became president, he said he was only going to be a one-term president.
Agreed. So that's where Trudeau is trying to go for 4 terms. Remember? That's where people are getting tired of this guy. If he said after, let's say, the 3rd win that, you know what, now it's time for transition. We're going to make sure that we put in place the best leader to go forward because 4 terms is unheard of in Canada. And same thing with Biden. If he said after that 1st term, just like he said, he's going to now transition to, or during the term, transition to who's going to take over, it would have been a lot smoother. And then that person would have had the full weight of the Democratic Party. Instead, these guys, like the ego just takes over. Like, why am I going to give up power? I'm the president, I'm the prime minister. So they can never relinquish power. And it was wild. They found a video, I think of Woodrow Wilson or General Ford or President Ford that said only way for a woman to become president would be for a president to have a woman vice president and for him to die. Like, even he knew back in the day that a man wouldn't just relinquish the power. He had to die. And I think that's what they're probably expecting. Like, hey, if he's this old, maybe he'll pass away. But that didn't happen. And then he decided, hey, I'm alive. I'm just going to run. And they had to push him out. But if he willingly just said, you know what? My time has come. I was able to right the ship and win for the people to beat Trump. And now we're going to create a transition for the next person to come through, which would have been Kamala, they would have had a lot better time than him being forced out and then them trying to scramble and put her in place. And this is what's happening with Trudeau. Instead of him saying, yo, I've won 3 elections, how do we transition power to somebody else so the Liberal Party stays strong? He wants to hold on to the end, and now all this infighting is happening today. Who knows what he's going to announce? I would be impressed if he just says, I am going down with the ship. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I'm going till the end. If you don't like it, write all the letters you want. But the next election that happens, I will be on the ticket. If I lose, I will step down. If
and
I
bring
win,
down the whole party with me.
I'm just saying
that's very egocentric.
But I'm telling you, it's worse if he steps down and they have to find a new leader. That to me is worse than.
But the thing is, it's all about winning. It's not about him. It's about the party winning. It's not about him, his legacy.
What I'm saying, he gives the party their best chance. That's what I'm trying to say. Them shifting leaders,
okay, so especially
the
Canadians that are watching this, do you feel that Trudeau staying on gives the best opportunity in the next election for the Liberals, whether winning or not winning, is the best opportunity? So let's go on. Dr. Tati says the GOP, he says she's an American, he says the GOP loves power more than they hate 47, proving my point. It's a trade-off for them. JJ Marr says, LOL, Dems totally screwed up as usual. They did. Dr. Chachi says it was less about the messaging. It was more about the fact that they refused to hire a Black South Asian woman for the job. The polls showed where the thinking was. JJ Marr also says Dems and the GOP are experts in selecting token leaders elected, appointed for the Black community. Sophia says the marketing and the messaging in the U.S. around Kamala was definitely problematic. Frequency of event promotion says to unpack what was shared, Republican conservative views are almost identical in how they govern the land. Dalton has he will resign today. Dr. Chai says Dr. Vibe, it may be egocentric, but why is it acceptable when the conservative extremists do the same thing? It often given a pass because people expect this behavior from them. All right.
Hey, what gave Trudeau his reign was Harper going down with the ship. So to your point, if a leader holds on too long, Kathleen Wynne did the same thing. When they go down with the ship, they are in jeopardy of destroying. By that, it's probably their best bet, because if they switch leaders, I don't think they're going to do as well. But again, to be seen. But yeah, I just feel if they didn't create the infighting and just supported the man till the end as a part, like this is what I see the conservatives do, I see the Republicans do. It's like whoever they feel is the best person to win, they're all rowing in the same direction, regardless of the character of this person or what they might, people's thoughts and views of them might be. If they're the best bet, so if the Liberals feel that Trudeau right now isn't their best bet, I just don't agree. I don't think the infighting helps.
Okay. Sophia says, who would be Trudeau's replacement? Well, that's what the convention would decide. But I say right now, probably the person most likely to be the replacement would be Chrystia Freeland, who has definitely different thoughts on the economy, on how the economy should be run than Prime Minister Trudeau. For example, this no HST, GST up for the next number of weeks. She did not think that was a great idea.
Yes.
She disagreed with that. So Dalton also says the priority in Canada now is the economy. Well, it's in every capitalist country, the economy is the number one priority, not just now, but even more so. And also with the threat of, so if he does resign, who's going to lead Canada now with the incoming potential tariffs that 47 is going to bring in?
Absolutely.
So
I would love to see MP Michael Coteau put his hat in the ring to go for the leadership. I know he's newer as an MP, but I would love to see him enter the race. I don't know who else I can think that I would love to see run.
I think it's to me it's Friedland's. Well, right now it's Friedland's race to lose.
Gotcha.
That's, I think it's, that's it's her loss. Yeah. Yeah. Seeing a
That's
senior
where the
sort.
experts are saying if she becomes the leader, she's not as polished a politician and she won't do well. This is where I think the Liberals will go backwards if they switch to her or anybody else that's green, as because nobody's been groomed to take over leadership. That's the problem. Because we have Trudeau holding on, there's no smooth transition into the next person. It just becomes a leadership race, and whoever can win the leadership race will become the prime minister, would actually become the prime minister.
Mm-hmm.
And then are they the best though? Like, are they the best person to be prime minister? And all this is like to be determined. Like, there's no way to predict how well somebody will do. You can only go by past actions or past things that they've done. Oh man, it's a wild time.
Okay.
A year ago, I wasn't expecting this kind of internal fighting against Trudeau. Yes, definitely from the external, you would see people, not, like you said, getting tired of him. Like, hey, the antics or the decisions aren't really the best. But still, the Liberal Party was like, okay, this is our guy. Because there was talk of her taking over before the third election. And then he decided not to do that transition and stay on, and he won. So that's where, he
got a minority government.
Very true, too. So there was, that's
he got
true.
A minority government. So his popularity was even slipping then. And I think that, okay, so Dr. Tachi says, what led to Trudeau coming into power in the first place? Was it the legacy of his father that persuaded people? I believe so.
That's a big, I would say that was a big part.
Yeah, it was he had a brand, his father.
Yes. And no real competition. Like, who would have gone up against him, right?
And you were saying of the no experience, he was a school teacher.
Right.
So you got to start from somewhere. He had no political experience.
But definitely.
But he had the pedigree. He had the pedigree, though.
He has the brand, and then people say, okay, this is the guy, and they groom him into the role. When now it's just like, it's a lot of friction. It's like, okay, he's going to reluctantly resign, and then they're going to now have to vote on a new person, which is going to split the party even further, because who knows who's going to put their hat in. You're saying Carney might not run, but I still think he might throw his hat in if Trudeau does resign. And if he does, he's not even an MP right now. So
there's another thing too.
Where's
right?
the vote coming from? And can anybody just join this leadership race? Like, do you have to have some sort of?
No, you don't have to. Like look at you don't have to have a seat, because who was it? I know that there's someone from, I think when Jagmeet Singh became leader of the NDP, he didn't have I don't think he had a seat.
I think you're right. Yeah. And then he had to win one.
Yes.
Wow.
So you don't have to have a seat to be the leader. Look at like
even the Green Party. Oh my goodness.
What's her name? Elizabeth Manley was her?
The one that came in after her.
Can't remember. Oh, the lady who was the black woman. She didn't have a seat. She had Anne-Marie Paul. And
then wasn't able to win the seat.
Seat either.
Yeah, so she went up against Marcy Ian, though. That was tough.
Yeah, that's that's a little bit of a challenge, right? So Dalton says the Liberal Party has self-imploded. They will get crushed in the upcoming election. I believe whoever runs, I think the Liberal Party will get crushed. It just depends by how much. Now,
so Dalton, I'm curious, do you feel, because now the impending doom is coming, do you say the captain goes down with the ship, or do you try to salvage the wreckage by changing out the captain
Good question. And that's not only for Dalton, but for everybody. What do you think is better if Mr. Trudeau resigns? Should he, well, if it's impending, but should he stay and go down with the ship, or should someone take over? That's the question.
Right.
One of our producers says a lot of my generation is voting NDP and conservative. There you go. And that's the one who's in the late high school, early university. So the Liberals have lost touch. This sounds very similar to what went on in the U.S., losing touch with the populace, losing touch with the everyday voter. So we have a decision to make, Mr. Knight. You realize now. So do we stop this now? Because I'm coming back at 10:45, or do we just continue running this through to 10:45 and keep it going? And I don't even know what your availability is, but I know you've got things to do. So I'm going to ask the audience: do you want us to stop now and come back at 10:45, or do we want to keep on chatting and just run it back? Or no? Do you want us?
The only thing I fear is that it'll get delayed. Because yes, they said 10:45, but do you think you'll come out at 10:45?
I think they'll. It's a good question. That is a good question. I'm just. This is a good question. Man, even CNN saying now Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau just said to resign his party list. Polls plummet, source says. So CNN is in on it now. So yeah, he's stepping down 1 hour ago. I'm seeing some stories here. Expected to address Canadians at 10:45. I'm outside his home in Rideau College.
Man. Whew.
Well,
there was one reluctant man up there as he resigned. I'm gonna love how he smiles his way through this, because this is not
okay. So Frequency of Report says reconvene after the announcement is made. In my opinion, I want to show the announcement live. I don't want to do it after. We need to show his I would say visage while this is going down. After the announcement, no, you want to get it in real time and do real time commentary. Like that's what we did for the U.S. debates. We did real time. We didn't go on after they finished. We did it real time. We did it real.
Let's run it. Let's keep on until 11. Okay. And then if he's not on and announced at 11, then we'll reconvene.
All right. I'm actually going to now go to see if I can get CBC and get their website out to see if they should be streaming it live. I hope. There we go. And that's it. Okay. So, yeah. So they're saying on the CBC website, Trudeau to announce he's stepping down as Liberal leader. Sources. Okay. So I've got the CBC website up. So, okay. So, you know what? And I love this. The family is going in. They're keeping the comments going here. So Dalton Haynes says, resigning now, salve the ship. Stepping down immediately could allow the Liberal Party to rejuvenate under new leadership, potentially improving its chances in the upcoming election. This move may preserve Trudeau's legacy as a leader who prioritized the party's future over personal ambition.
Valid. That's an excellent answer. I mean,
yes,
that definitely is worthy of consideration to say, you know what? It is an ego move if he doesn't resign.
That's what I'm saying. It's bigger than him. Now, unlike 47, it's all about him, right? Right. So Dr. Tachi says, I say you stop now, get the live ready in the system, and be ready to hit go live as soon as the announcement comes. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Frequency of Air Pro says, hey, just giving my opinion. That's all. Hey, that's what we want. That's where this is a place to give. Dr. Tachi, I like that. Okay. Dalton says, okay, we already get that up. Freaking says, okay. Remaining as leader risk further electoral damage as polls show declining support for both Trudeau and the Liberals. This could lead to a crushing defeat, cementing his tenure as politically untenable. Good take. And Frequency Pro says, who? Well said, doctor, preserving the line. Okay. Okay. We got an executive decision to make. You know what? Okay. So I'm gonna say this. Well, so first of all, Ryan, if we stop now, are you available at 10:45? Well, I'm gonna be back, but what about you?
Yeah, would it be the same link, or you'd have to send out a new link?
I would send a new link. So what I've got to do, family, is I've got to go and set up a whole new link. So this is what I'm saying. We got to stop now because it's going to take me about 10 minutes to get everything done. And then what I'm going to do is I would go live sometime between around 10:40-ish, between 10:40 and 10:45. But I got a lot of work to do to make this happen. So if we're going to stop, we got to stop now or.
Yeah, so let's reboot it if you have to do that groundwork.
Okay, so let's get a few more comments. Senior's case says, good morning, all. Just wondering if you were still going to speak about the alarming of Black boys who have gone missing with little or no mainstream media coverage. We were going to speak about that. I will say with that, yes, there was no mainstream coverage until interesting. See, this is I'm going to run. You know what? I'm going to run into 10:45 because I want to talk about that too. Because we're not back on until Friday.
True.
So, all right. So, Frequency Report says, going to make breakfast now. See everyone later. Enjoy your breakfast. You're the person who wanted us to stop and come back. You're not even going to be back with us.
Right.
And Fitness IQ Ken goes, woo! Yeah, fire. All right. So, we'll stop right now about talking about the Trudeau. I'm sure we can cover for the next 15 minutes this other story. Story.
I want to give a shout out to Brampton City Hall. They did it was like a town hall about the boys that were missing. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch it live, but I do think it was recorded. So I'm going to send that recording out.
There was. Okay, so just stepping back for a little bit of people here. And you say, thanks, Dr. Vibe. Yes, thank you to Ryan. No problem. Not Ryan. Frequency of Approaches, Christopher. So let's step back a bit. About 2 weeks ago, I saw someone posted on my Instagram timeline. There was a number of young Black boys missing in the Greater Toronto area where Ryan and I live. And I go, and they took the post from, of all places, MSNBC Joy Reid show. Okay. So here is someone on an American cable news network making awareness about Black boys missing in the Toronto area. Here in Toronto, crickets. Now, last night on was it Wednesday or Thursday? I don't look at LinkedIn all the time, but I went in, saw a post by someone who I follow on LinkedIn saying there's going to be a town hall via Zoom about this situation. Unfortunately, I could not make it because it was on Friday night. I already had plans with family. Couldn't get out of it. But then I interestingly noticed that CP24, local television station, and CTV News, which are owned by the same company, did like a 2-minute spot on it about the town hall. And then last night on one of the conversations I host, Black Men Can Talk, Paul Osborne, I believe he attended. He says he has a copy of the recording, but I said, Paul, can you get me in touch with anyone who's involved in this initiative? So I'm hoping to get one of them on sooner rather than later in regards to that. But one of the things that was interesting, he said that one of the people who was pushing this awareness, it was interesting that mainstream media did not Toronto did not make a point of covering this until the Toronto police force brought it out to the public attention.
Okay, right.
Now, and there was a lady on there who pushed the story out, and he said kudos to people like Dr. Vibe, Black independent content creators. She had pushed it out on one of her Instagram posts, and it had over 8,000 views.
Gotcha.
And she said,
announcement from the CP24, or
no, she put out the information saying that I think it was maybe about this town hall had like 8,000 views, whereas the similar post on the Toronto Police Force Instagram only had 500 views.
Wow.
They said, so this is the value of independent content creators in the Black environment.
Absolutely.
Right? He said that
and
this
I'm going to send you the link to the YouTube here.
For
the town hall that the city of Brampton had put on about Black boys.
Yes, and I know that one of the people that was on this Zoom call was Chapman. What's her first name?
Yeah, so Gwen Chapman.
Gwen Chapman
is what's the organization called? No, so part of the city of Brampton, the Black Economic, Social, Cultural, and Youth Development Unit. So they're the ones, I believe, that put together this town hall for the missing Black boys in Ontario.
Okay. So, and I was humbled, and Paul said, this is why it's important individuals like Dr. Vibe does what he does, because mainstream media doesn't have the relationship with our environment than we do. And just to light there that so many people watched, liked, followed the post that this lady put up. So I am.
Is it okay because the CP24 one is only a couple minutes? If I can,
it's only 2 minutes long. It's only 2 minutes long. I will show it in just a moment.
But you have it already? Oh, okay.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do have that. I'll show it in just a moment. Sophia. So producers, we're going to go a while. So you tell me in the private chat how long you can go for. But Sophia says the call happened on January 2nd. Okay, so we got it here. The call happened on, so he says the call happened on January 2nd. The Zoom was maxed out at 500 consistently for 2 hours, and individuals who could not get in there were in the hundreds. The Zoom stayed open till 11 p.m., and there were still people trying to log in after the call was over. That's why they should have come to me, because I could have broadcasted on all these platforms, and there's no limit, but that's okay. But so she says also, Gwyneth Chapman, Black Empowerment Unit, BE. You know what? That's who I'm going to reach out to. That's who I'm going to reach out to. That is who I'm going to reach out to. And I'm going to see if I'm going to reach out to her. I'm pretty sure I have her phone number. No, yes, I do have her phone number. So after today, I'm going to reach out to her. And if Ryan said, yep, thank you. Good. Thank you, Ryan, for sending her number. I'll reach out to her. Now, Dr. Tachi, I may have to push you from this Friday. That's so bad. I've been pushing Dr. Tachi so much, but I know she will understand if I can get Gwen on this Friday to talk about this story. I know that Toronto Caribbean News has covered their story in their online publication, but no one's done. As far as I know, I may be wrong. No Black online media has done anything about this. So that is one of the to-dos that I'm going to get done today, to reach out to her. Right? So that is where we stand. But this is a serious story. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to show you a story from CP24 about the town hall.
If she's available, I think it would be good, maybe even like Wednesday, to do a show on Wednesday.
I will work around her schedule.
Right, yeah.
All right, so let's show this story from CP24. Here we go.
Youth in the Black community going missing across the GTA, as we hear from TDVA, as we hear Beth McDonnell, a special meeting was held to address a growing number.
Sorry, folks. Okay, let's see if we can make this happen. Okay, let's try here.
Social media posts on the issue.
And we do have a special program in relation to that.
This is a virtual meeting held with community members and officers from Peel Police, Toronto Police, and the OPP Thursday night, addressing a rash of social media posts about missing Black boys in the GTA.
All of a sudden, there's a plethora of missing boys, flyers being sent on social media and no one is giving us any kind of account as to what is really happening. Why is it that we're seeing so many, notices about boys being missing?
The Zoom town hall came about after Britain's Black Empowerment Unit brought forward concerns. More than 500 people attended, the maximum number of guests possible on the platform, with hundreds more stuck in the waiting room.
The meeting last night was impactful in a sense that it gave the community a better understanding of what's involved with missing persons. And it also dispelled a lot of the concerns that they had.
From my perspective, it achieved some of its objectives.
David Mitchell is a community advocate based at Jane and Finch. He believes the problem is a combination between the number of missing Black boys and education around the procedures when someone is missing.
I think what's important is to put things in context and get information from whatever source, whatever credible source that you can, in terms of how do you talk to young people, how do you build the relationships where they can come to you when they're in some type of distress.
Mitchell says people often go missing when there is conflict at home or mental health and addictions. He says there is also an issue with adults encouraging young people to go up north and sell drugs.
You never want to hear from mothers and fathers worried about their child, and I hope there is more we can do to ensure a safe environment, that these Black boys are protected from what we're seeing now. I hope by studying this we'll be able to draw more attention to it and see if we can make sure that we combat this.
Mitchell says laws are needed around recruitment not related to sex crimes of young people, and better race-based data to know if there's a reason to sound the alarm or what's happening is not a trend.
Today, and it's in relation to.
Okay, so that's a report that we are.
And would be curious to know. She said, if it's not a trend, like for the police, where do they consider it to be a trend? I guess, because is it like a daily occurrence that kids go missing, and then if it hits 4 or 5 within a certain amount of time, then it's a trend? I'll be curious to hear what they consider, because it looks like last I saw there's at least 6 that I saw pictures missing. I'm not sure if you've seen more than 6, but yeah. It'd be curious to know their procedures on that.
Yeah, so it's very disturbing, this trend. Fitnet's IQ Cam goes, how about utilizing the police for cases like this or car thefts? Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, this is, like I said, I knew nothing about this till I saw it on Joy Reid's platform. So there you go. American platform highlighting something that's going on in our environment.
Right.
That is concerning. That we're not, we got to take care of our homes.
Absolutely. And I don't remember seeing any Amber Alerts, nothing about missing child over the last 3 weeks. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, so Sophia, thank you, because you were part of this conversation, and thanks for giving some intel from it. On the call, there was time given to explain the difference between missing and abducted. Okay.
So these be considered missing, not abducted? Is that what they were saying? So if they're abducted, then that's where an Amber Alert comes in? But if they're just missing...
I don't know. Fitnet, we weren't there. Fitnet's IQ Cam says exactly, and she goes about no Amber Alert. Exactly. So she is agreeing with you. How come there were no Amber Alerts about these situations?
So then did they give a report from the parents? What they do they think the boys went, were they of age that they could go off on their own and then haven't come back? Or are they, because I didn't see the ages. So yeah, so young.
So Jay, you say yes. I need yes to what? That's, if you just give us a little bit more, because when you say one word, I go, to what? Don't, so just give us a little bit more context, what you're saying yes to about what's being shared here. And family, I am keeping a watch on the CBC site in regards to the impending press conference to be given by current Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. As we say, current. Speculation is he's going to be former very, very soon. Okay, so thank you, Sophia said they were missing for different reasons, not considered to be abducted.
Okay.
Okay, C Nurse K says, so disturbing, and the way they edited this clip makes it look like drugs must be involved. Of course, no mention of the possibility of a serial killer or human trafficking or even organ harvesting. Someone brought that organ harvesting up to me the other day, just this weekend, about that, the organ harvesting. And I went, wow, please let not be even like that's involved. That is just, and the trafficking piece. But see, this is why one of the reasons I do what I do, because we can have conversations. That 2-minute clip just gave you a slice.
True. Yep.
It just gave you a slice. And that's why we want to invite Gwen and any other members who are involved in this initiative on, so they can have, to me, a conversation is a living, breathing thing. 2 minutes is not living and breathing. 2 minutes is getting air in one nostril.
Exactly.
And not even 2 minutes is just inhaling. It's not even.
It's, yeah.
Exactly. So this is why we have it. All right. So we allegedly, I say allegedly, are 2.5 minutes to this announcement. Now, hopefully we can catch it live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go open up a number of different platforms to see if anyone's covering it live. You know what? I should also probably open up the CBC YouTube page. Maybe
something's pending.
Let me just news. Yeah, I should probably go. Okay, set to speak as reservation calls go. 5-minute read. Okay.
Oh, the YouTube one looks like they had the camera on his house.
Bum by. All right. Which page are you watching?
So that's CBC News.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to CBC. Here we go. Okay, well that's CTV News. Okay, so I'm gonna CBC News. I'm gonna open up the
comments are turned off. God. Oh man.
Okay, so let me just
do the internet not behave itself.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to keep. Yeah, so I've got the CBC News site up and ready to go. So once the Prime Minister comes out, we'll do this. So Sophia says organ harvesting was brought up on the call. They said, yes, this is a very rare thing, not the case in these missing boys. Fitness IQ goes, watcha. I want to know what your day was like yesterday. Were you out in the cold? Okay.
Yeah, that was to be avoided at all costs. The whole weekend was
this whole week is to be avoided.
Aye.
The whole okay, so we.
And I'm curious, Sojay, if what the call to action was for us in the community to say, I mean, do we need to go look for these boys? Is it something that we're just leaving in the hands of the police? Was there any call to action on what we could do to support even the families, like what they're going through? I wasn't sure what that next step after the meeting. I did see it said meeting 1, so I don't know if there's a planned second meeting that they've announced.
Okay, let's so Fitness IQ can just kiss my teeth. I'll explain that later. Okay. Dr. Chacha is sending you some sun. Yes, from Fort Lauderdale, of course.
Yes,
she said she was up, but you enjoyed it good. And Fitness IQ Camp says, please, Dr. Chachi, send it. Okay. All right, so just to reset, you are watching a special edition of extended version special edition of the Morning Vibe. We didn't know what was going down, And when you do these things, it has a world of its own. So we talked a little about the impending announcement from Prime Minister Trudeau. Speculation is he's going to resign as leader of the Liberal Party, meaning that, well, look at this. Parliament will prologue until March 24th. What does that mean? Parliament will prologue. Prorogue. What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, we're going to find out.
That they stop sitting, but then does that mean, is that the announcement? Because that could also be a different announcement where he doesn't resign and is just proroguing government.
Well, it's saying that, okay.
Or is he proroguing it to resign?
Okay, okay. I'm multi-purposing here, folks. I'm keeping a watch. Free morning letter. Okay. It's not a well-known activity, so there may be questions exactly what prorogation. What is prorogation? Prorogation. According to the federal government's website, ourcommons.ca, prorogation of a parliament results in a termination of a session. All parliamentary business will be stopped. The House of Commons will be then adjourned, and the parliament stands prorogued until the opening of the next session. Parliament is actually prorogued either by the Governor General, Deputy Governor, or the Deputy Governor General in the Senate chamber, or by proclamation. So that means everything would stop.
No vote of the budget.
No vote of the budget. No vote of the budget.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Okay.
This stuff is like a dumpster fire right now.
Hold on here. We've got here. Fitness IQ says, seems like we have to do the police job these days. She also said David Mitchell. Also, David Mitchell was on the call. So I know David Mitchell. David Mitchell's a very credible individual. He used to work for many years for the Ontario Ministry Solicitor of the Solicitor General. So he knows, he's been a long time involved in policing, especially of our people. So he knows what he's talking about, and also has a good knowledge of the criminal justice system. And many years ago, I actually met in his office in his role at that time, downtown Toronto. So he is a very credible source, and he is a community worker. Next up, Senior's case says the mainstream media does not want to alarm the public. So much goes on that we have no clue about. Absolutely. That's why we have to know, and we have to know what's going on, and we have to broadcast it. That's where independent media content creators like myself and others are critical. The only thing is we wish we had the budgets of some of the mainstream so we could do the stuff as well, or give it as wide a platform as possible. Let me just look again. Nothing yet. All right. So prorogation. So that means everything would come to a screaming halt in government if this happens. All right. Next, a commentary. Let's go for this. Sophia says, for Ryan, a follow-up meeting will be coordinated. Gwyn and David Mitchell will be able to provide the most accurate information on this. That is why I'm calling Gwyn today, to say we could have another one of these, and she wouldn't have to worry about the number of people in the room, because we'd be broadcasting it on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. Wouldn't have to worry about numbers. But I would certainly need production help, because the comments would be coming in and flying. All right.
Yes.
But so that's why, we have a team, because that would be a major, major event. So I'm going after that today. So Fitness IQ Cam says LMAO. I don't know what you're LMAOing to. I don't know. You can't. Okay. Fitness IQ Cam says doesn't want to alarm who since 2020. Since 2020, they have been alarming us.
Daily.
Yes. Fitness IQ, they are just selective on what they want to alarm us about. So I guess she's referring to the comment about the media. Mm-hmm. And then Sophia says, on this, your question on the call to action after the Zoom. Okay, what about on this? The call to action after. That's what I need to know. Okay, another comment here. So Sojay says, most of the boys have been found, several prior to the social media posts going viral. So most of the boys have been found?
Okay,
I'm confused here. I'm happy.
If they've been found, what was the circumstance? Like, was it that they just ran away, or did they get lured?
Yeah, I'm missing something here, because then how many boys are missing? And of the missing boys, how many have been found?
Right.
That's what I need to know. There's your comment there gives me a little bit of a disconnect. Like, but we still should have put a priority on any Black boy or Black person that's missing. Any of them, doesn't matter. Yes, in this case, Black boys, but Black people in general are missing. And I know the police have their protocol and when, because I do watch a lot of true crime. The point, I think it's 24 hours or so before they can get involved or something like that. But we need to, when we see someone's missing, we got to start it before the police or the authorities start it. That's our responsibility. So Fitness IQ Cam says, yeah, if they are found, that would be lovely to discuss once they have the handle on their trauma, of course. That's true also. That'd be if they're willing, that's a whole other conversation, because these young boys, if you want to interview them, you certainly would have to get the parents' permission. Also on top of that. CNS Curry says, exactly my point. Was they are not concerned when it comes to Black people. Issues that concern us are not considered a priority.
Gotcha.
We have to make ourselves a priority. If anyone else does, this is just me, it's a bonus.
Right. And relying on them, then we see it doesn't get done.
Right. Well, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not going to say
but that's where, because I'm sure the parents only know certain avenues to go and try and get help. And then when those avenues are like rejecting them, we have to figure out a way that people in the community know the avenues that they can go to get the word out.
So then, does that then mean that we need to have better relations with each other so we take care of these situations instead of relying on others? All right. Oh, Sojay says they did not get into the details of all the boys. That were between 8 to 12 boys that went missing. On the call, they shared that by the time the post went viral, they had already been located.
Oh, and so that's great, but that's what I'm saying. Like, did they share what the circumstances was for them going missing? Because if they've been found, then do they know why they went missing in the first place? Was it them just leaving home and taking off and then coming back days later? Because that's where it's like, okay, if boys are just leaving home, that's a different kind of family issue. If they're being lured away from home and being taken, and then them escape, like, did they escape somebody? Like, that's where I'm curious if they were found, what was the reason that they went missing?
Okay, and one of our producers says, you think our situation is bad. How do you think the Indigenous people feel?
They're valid.
Yeah, very good point. Very valid point. So Sojay says, what was mentioned was the general reasons why young people go missing, which was home life, mental health, lured by adults into drugs and human trafficking. Okay. So, and again, this wasn't really covered in that 2-minute report that CP24 did. So there's a whole different narrative that wasn't even brought from what I saw in that CP24 report.
Right.
Like that, and then again, the CP24 report did not mention that most of the boys have been found.
Right.
It just, so, okay. So Fitness IQ Cam says, fair. Well, I did say it. I don't know what is meant. Well, I did say what? Okay. That's why you got to help me out, family. And Ryan's prediction is true because it is now 55 minutes past the hour and Mr. Trudeau has not come up. But there's the camera on the front door of his residence. So they are waiting patiently.
They're expecting. I mean, I would have appreciated him being on time for this, especially if he's going to resign.
He doesn't.
I don't think he's going to resign. I know people are saying he's going to resign. I think that he is coming out saying that government is prorogued and the Liberal Party is going to internally decide what we're going to do. and he wants that
Oh,
meeting
okay.
for him to stay.
So I am corrected here. So Fitness IQ Cam says that CP24 did mention the possible reasoning. Okay, my mistake. I've got to watch the report again. Dr. Tachi says it feels that there are pieces missing. I agree. There are pieces missing. C Nurse K says, did they mention the percentage of boys that went up north to sell drugs, unquote, ridiculous.
Mhm.
So there's many different lenses in this story that are going down right now. Oh, and also this announcement from Mr. Trudeau will be the first time he has spoken publicly since Chrystia Freeland resigned. He first served as Liberal leader. He's served as Liberal leader since 20. These things are going. Trudeau will stay. It's saying Trudeau will stay on till his successor is chosen. Trudeau will also then resign as Premier as well. So this is reports we're getting. 24 p.m. Liberal parties, several regional councils have called. So they're saying what he's going to say. He's going to resign, but he's going to stay on till a new leader has chosen. CBC has learned that NDP leader Jagmeet Singh will respond to Trudeau resignation this afternoon. He met with the Governor General this morning. Parliament will prolong until March 24th. So there'll be no government business until March 24th. It's the first time so it seems that he's resigning as leader. So it sounds like there'll be a leadership party. Well, obviously it's going to be in the next few months. And then he will resign once that new leader is chosen. And here I am right now. Yeah, here's someone from the U.S. Trudeau's resigning. This is saying this is an opportunity for Black Canadians to leverage their power in spite of numbers. They count. Your thoughts, Ryan?
What do you think? They're talking about the leadership race, for us to lean into this
leadership race and election. I think especially the leadership race. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got some more comments here. Wow, family, you're on fire. You're on fire. This is amazing. I'm glad I didn't end the conversation. So here we go. Sophia says several individuals disliked the fact that, quote, parenting, unquote, for our community was a focus on the call.
But this is the thing. If the boys are leaving home of their own accord, whether they're going to sell drugs, it doesn't matter. If they're having trouble with their mental health, if they're not liking home life, that is issues of parenting. Like, that is internal issues. If they're being lured, sure, like that is external factors, but still we have to instill the ability for our kids to not want to leave home. Like, it's very difficult because our kids want to explore, but if they're at a point where they can leave and not come back, and if the parents say they're missing, like, the fact that they just wanted to leave and not come back, like, that's running away. Like, that's not a missing child, really. Like, that is a runaway. So we're dealing with children running away from home, or are we dealing with children going missing because if an adult is luring? That's why I'm curious the ages. Like, there was 12 boys missing. What were their ages? If they're all like high teens, young adults, that's different than children under 10. So knowing like their ages and why they're leaving, it's a mix. Is it a predator? Like, because if they were all found, so they weren't killed, so it's not a serial killer. This is great. They were all found, so it's not organ harvesting. That's great. But then now, if it is parenting, that would be the focus of the call. Like, it can't be something else if it's not that. Like, they're not getting killed, so we can't talk about it being a serial killer.
Well, for me also too, this is one of my passions going forward. I have a few of them now. The state of the Black family, right? The state of the
lack of external mentors too. Like, if there's nowhere for these youth to go and talk to outside of their own family, and if they feel their family is toxic, that causes an issue where they're gonna go find bad influences. And that's why I always love Ujima House, because it was a physical place young fathers could go to. So that type of thing doesn't exist many other places in the country. So now these boys that are leaving home, where are they going? Like, it's a complete Yeah.
I got to shout this out right now. Ryan, I appreciate you that you have the time to do this because I know you got a lot of things on your plate and I didn't know how long. So anytime you got to jump, you got to jump. But I think with these two stories, especially, it's good that both of us are here and we're both Black men talking about these things. I think it's really critical. Some more comments here. Fitness IQ Cam says, however, but should saying that 80% or more have been found, she says should have been said. And then she goes, wait a minute.
Trudeau's talking.
Okay, hold on. Yes, he is. Here we go.
Let me see what.
To stand strong with Ukraine and our democracy.
Get our economy ready.
Are you playing it too, Ryan? Because I hear feedback.
Yeah, I'll turn it down. I'll just check what you're saying.
Mes chers Canadiens, à chaque matin, je me suis réveillé.
Each and every morning, I woke up as Prime Minister, inspired by the resilience, generosity, and determination that characterizes
you able to do full screen?
As Canadians. This is what motivates me each and every day that I've had the privilege of serving as Prime Minister. This is why, since 2015, I have fought for this country and for you, to strengthen the middle class. We have mobilized as Canadians to support each other during the pandemic in order to advance reconciliation, in order to defend free trade on our continent, for our support of Ukraine and democracy, and to fight against climate change and to prepare the economy for the future. We are going through a critical time.
My friends, as you all know, I'm a fighter. Every bone in my body has always told me to fight because I care deeply about Canadians. I care deeply about this country, and I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians. And the fact is, despite best efforts to work through it, Parliament has been paralyzed for months after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in Canadian history. That's why this morning I advised the Governor General that we need a new session of Parliament. She has granted this request, and the House had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election. Mes chers amis, comme vous savez,
Dear
je suis un
friends,
fighter.
as you know, I
Dans
am
mon
a
fort
fighter.
intérieur, je me suis toujours battu parce que je me soucie
Deep inside, I've always fought because I care deeply about Canadians.
toujours motivé.
And I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians. The fact is that despite all efforts to get through this time, Parliament has been paralyzed for months after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in our country's history. And that is why this morning I met with the Governor General to tell her that we needed a new session of Parliament. She accepted my request, and so the House of Commons will be prorogued until March 24th. During the holidays, and I had the opportunity to reflect and to have long talks with my family with regards to our future. Throughout my career, all my success is due to their support and to their encouragements. So last night over dinner, I told my kids what I am telling you here today. I will resign as leader of the Liberal Party of Canada and as Prime Minister after the party will have selected its next leader after a rigorous, competitive, and national process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin this process. Our country deserves a real choice during the next election, and it's become obvious for me that if I have to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best choice. The Liberal Party of Canada is an important institution in the history of our great country and our democracy. A new Prime Minister and leader of the party will carry forth the ideas and the values of the Liberal Party during the next election. I'm looking forward to watching this process unfold over the following months. We were elected in 2021 for a third mandate to reinforce the economy after the pandemic and to advance the interests of Canada in a complex world. And that is exactly what I will continue to do and what we will continue to do for Canadians.
The Liberal Party of Canada is an important institution in the history of our great country and democracy. A new Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Party will carry its values and ideals into that next election. I'm excited to see the process unfold in the months ahead. We were elected for the third time in 2021 to strengthen the economy post-pandemic and advance Canada's interests in a complicated world. And that is exactly the job that I and we will continue to do for Canadians. Merci beaucoup, mes amis.
Thank you, Prime Minister. We'll now go to questions, starting with Laurence Martin, Radio-Canada.
Bonjour, Monsieur Trudeau.
Hello, Mr. Trudeau.
Vous vouliez le faire, ce combat contre Pierre
You wanted
Poilievre.
to
Des
have
batailles internes, il y en a dans votre
an
parti
election
depuis
with
plusieurs mois
Pierre
déjà.
Poilievre as your opponent. There have been internal battles for a while. Why are you giving up now? What made you change your mind?
Comme vous savez, je suis pas
As you know,
qui recule facilement
I
devant
don't easily back down faced with a fight, especially a very important one for our party and for the country.
Mais
But
je fais ce job parce que
I do this job
l'intérêt des Canadiens et le bien-être
because
de notre pays, de notre démocratie,
the interests of Canadians and the well-being of our democracy is something that I hold dear.
c'est devenu clair
And it's
que,
become clear to me
je ne
that
peux pas être,
I cannot
le chef dans les prochaines
be the
élections
leader
à cause de
during
la
the next
pandémie.
elections due to internal battles.
As you all know, I am a fighter, and I am not someone who backs away from a fight, particularly when a fight is as important as this one is. But I have always been driven by my love for Canada, by my desire to serve Canadians, and by what is in the best interest of Canadians. And Canadians deserve a real choice in the next election. And it has become obvious to me with the internal battles that I cannot be the one to carry the Liberal standard into the next election.
Vous êtes au pouvoir depuis près de 10
You've
ans.
been in power
Le
for nearly
Canada a
10
changé
years.
avec votre
Canada
gouvernement.
has changed with your
S'il y a
government.
une réalisation
If there's
que vous nommez dont vous êtes le plus fier,
one
dans
accomplishment that you're the most proud of, I know there are several, but perhaps the thing you are most proud of, and maybe one regret? Answer. In 2015, we were elected on a promise to work for the middle class in this country. And that is what we did. We reduced the level of poverty. We helped families. We created an economy that works for many more people while preparing for the future, a more digital future, and to prepare for a world where climate change will have a greater impact. We've done a lot of work with Canadians, and Canada is better off due to the work that we've all done over the past few years. A regret? I continue to think that if our electoral system had been changed so that people would be able to have a first, second, and third choice on the ballot, parties would have spent more time looking at their points in common to be the second or third choice of voters rather than to see this polarization. But I could not unilaterally change our ballot system.
We got elected in 2015 to fight for the middle class, and that's exactly what we've done over the past years. We reduced their taxes, we increased the benefits to families, we made sure the economy was focused on working for everyone and not just a few, and that has changed. That has dropped poverty rates in Canada, that has brought more people into the workforce, that has moved us forward on reconciliation in a way that has deeply improved the opportunities and success of Canadians despite the incredibly difficult times the world is going through right now. There's lots more work to be done, and I know that this party and this country and Canadians will keep doing it. If I have one regret, particularly as we approach this election, well, there are probably many regrets that I will think of, but I do wish that we'd been able to change the way we elect our governments in this country so that people could simply choose a second choice or a third choice on the same ballot, so that parties would spend more time trying to be people's second or third choices, and people would have been looking for things they have in common instead of trying to polarize and divide Canadians against each other. I think in this time, figuring out how to pull together and find common ground remains something that is really important for democracies. But I could not change unilaterally without support of other parties our electoral system. That wouldn't have been responsible.
Prochaine question. Tonda McCharles, Toronto Star. Prime Minister, up until 3 weeks ago, you were intending to stay, and it seems that the event 3 weeks ago of Ms. Freeland coming out and saying you were firing her as your finance minister was the catalyst that brought us here today. So can you explain your side of what happened there?
Chrystia has been by my side for close to 10 years now. She has been an incredible political partner through just about everything we have done as a government and as a party over the past decade. I had really hoped that she would agree to continue as my deputy prime minister and take on one of the most important files that not just this government, but this country is facing, but she chose otherwise. In regards to what actually happened, I am not someone who's in the habit of sharing private conversations. Chrystia a été depuis presque 10 ans maintenant.
Chrystia was by my side for nearly 10 years. She was a political partner, a crucial political partner, given everything that we've gone through as a party and as a government. And I really would have wanted for her to choose to continue as my deputy prime minister. And that she would take over one of the most important files that we will have to deal with in the next few months. But she did not want to do that. As for details, I'm not one to share details of private conversations.
The Liberal Party as an institution and the internal battles right now, but I'm wondering if you feel that another leader will have more success than you will at beating Pierre Poilievre in the next campaign.
Pierre Poilievre's vision for this country is not the right one for Canadians. Stopping the fight against climate change doesn't make sense. backing off on the values and strength in diversity that Canada has always worked to pull itself together on is not the right path for the country. Attacking journalists, the CBC institutions, that's not what Canadians need in this moment. We need an ambitious, optimistic view of the future, and Pierre Poilievre is not offering that. And I look forward to the fight as progressives across this country stand up for the kind of vision for a better country that Canadians have always carried, despite the tremendous pressures around the world to think smaller, to veer towards the hard right, and to be less ambitious for what we can be and do as a country when the world really needs Canada.
That's not an answer, though. Yes or no? Is there another leader that could beat him?
Absolutely.
Sur le leader?
Oui.
Non, mais est-ce que vous, est-ce que
Pierre,
vous
Pierre
pouvez
Poilievre.
élaborer en français, s'il vous plaît? Merci.
Pierre Poilievre a une vision
Pierre Poilievre
profondément
has
petite
a very
et
small
erronée pour ce pays.
vision and
Si même on accepte qu'il ait une
the wrong
vision,
vision for Canada. If we even accept that he
reculer
has
sur
a
les droits
vision,
fondamentaux,
he wants to back off
d'arrêter
on fundamental
la
values,
défense de la lutte contre les changements climatiques,
wanting to stop the fight against climate change,
de ne pas investir dans une économie
refusing
ouverte,
to invest in a greener
inclusive,
and more inclusive
de
economy,
toujours chercher des divisions
trying to
entre les
divide
Canadiens plutôt que de
Canadians
rassembler
rather
pour
than
faire face à
uniting them
l'avenir
to face the
de façon
future
optimiste et
together in an
ambitieuse.
ambitious and
C'est pas
optimistic
le
way.
bon choix pour les Canadiens.
That is not the right choice for
Et j'ai
Canadians.
hâte de faire partie
And
de-
I'm looking
de continuer
forward
de faire partie d'un mouvement
to be part of a
progressiste qui va
progressive
envisager
movement
un avenir
that
meilleur
will
pour les
seek out a
Canadiens
better future for our
selon
country and for
l'optimisme
Canadians.
et le travail que les Canadiens ont toujours fait pour bâtir un monde meilleur.
An optimistic vision
Next question.
for Canadians. Hélène Buzetier.
Bonjour, Monsieur Trudeau.
Hello,
Il y a
Mr.
16
Trudeau.
ans, en décembre
16 years ago, in December 2008, Stephen Harper prorogued Parliament to avoid a vote of non-confidence that he knew that he would lose because the three opposition parties would vote against him. It's the exact same situation that you find yourself in today. Stéphane Dion at the time had said, and I quote, that this was an affront to democracy. I'd like to know why what was bad for conservatives of Stephen Harper should be good for the Liberals of Justin Trudeau. The Governor General in 2008
avait correctement conclu
had concluded, and correctly so,
la
that
Chambre venait juste
the House
d'accorder leur confiance de façon formelle
had given formal
au gouvernement
confidence
de M.
to Mr. Harper's government,
malgré même une lettre signée
despite a signed
qui
letter.
était un document politique.
This was a political document
La
at the
voix de
time.
la Chambre compte.
The voice of the House
Or, avant,
counts.
avant d'arrêter
So,
le travail à la
before
Chambre pour
stopping the work at the House over the holidays, we won 3 non-confidence votes.
3 votes de confiance.
Mm.
Et nous allons
And so,
devoir retester la
we're going
confiance
to
de la
have to
Chambre
test the confidence of the House
le mois de mars
as
pour
of March
passer, les éléments budgétaires
to
nécessaires
adopt the necessary budgetary credit so that the government can continue to function.
In 2008, the Governor General correctly concluded that because the very last times in the previous weeks that the confidence of the House had been tested, it had passed that confidence test. Stephen Harper continued to have the confidence of the House, and it actually would bear out because as soon as they came back from the prorogation, Stephen Harper won a confidence vote once again. So a political document or political speeches doesn't carry the kind of weight that winning a confidence vote means. But this prorogation will take us only into March, and there will be confidence votes in March in the passing of supply that will allow Parliament to weigh in on confidence in a way that is entirely in keeping with all the principles of democracy and the workings of our strong institutions.
Mais avec respect, Monsieur Trudeau, y a-t-il pas
With
quelque
all
chose
due
un peu
respect,
antidémocratique
isn't there
de
something a
suspendre
little
la
bit
possibilité du
anti-democratic
Parlement
to
d'exprimer
suspend
sa
the
non-confiance
possibility of
le
the
temps que
House
votre
of
parti
expressing
se
their
cherche
non-confidence while your party is looking for its savior? Shouldn't
juste se référer aux électeurs et de déclencher dès maintenant une élection?
Shouldn't you call an election right now? Well, I think that, as everyone in the press gallery, the parliamentary press gallery knows, the extent to which Parliament has been paralyzed now for several months. We are stuck on a question of privilege. There are constant obstructionist motions being presented, and we've accomplished very little over the past few months. The House of Commons needs a reset. People need to calm down and to get back to work for Canadians and not play petty politics constantly. And this is what we're seeing on behalf of the Conservatives right now. So this reset has two elements. Prorogation, to begin with. This allows us to start over with a fresh, new approach at the Parliament. And secondly, the Liberal Party will begin the process to choose a new leader. And I expect that if I am not the one who will lead the party to the next elections, the polarization that we see right now at the House of Commons should also settle down. Canadians need a fully functioning parliament, specifically during this complex period, and both elements will represent the reset that we need. In English, but can you explain why you're not calling an election?
The parliamentary press gallery and anyone who's been watching politics closely over the past months will know that Parliament has been entirely seized by obstruction and filibustering and a total lack of productivity over the past few months. We are right now the longest serving minority government in history, and it's time for a reset. It's time for the temperature to come down, for the people to have a fresh start in Parliament, to be able to navigate through these complex times, both domestically and internationally. And the reset that we have is actually two parts. One is the prorogation, but the other part is recognizing that removing me from the equation as the leader who will fight the next election for the Liberal Party should also decrease the level of polarization that we're seeing right now in the House and in Canadian politics, and allow people to actually focus on serving Canadians in this House and with their work the way Canadians deserve.
On va prendre une dernière question.
Good morning, Prime Minister. Stephanie Taylor with the National Post. Given, as you just said, there's going to be confidence votes in March, opposition parties have said they are prepared to bring down your government. What kind of chances do you think you are leaving to your successor, given that there will only be mere weeks for them to introduce themselves to Canadians before heading into an election, potentially?
I have a tremendous amount of confidence in both Canadians and in parliamentarians' interest in serving Canadians in the right way. We're in a minority government right now, and there hasn't been an active leadership in a minority government in more than 50 years in this country. And there is always going to be the challenge of having a leadership race while a parliament would face confidence votes in the course of delivering supply to the government. So this is something that we're going to navigate through, but I truly feel that removing the contention around my own continued leadership is an opportunity to bring the temperature down, have a government that will focus on the complex issues that are coming forward in the coming months, while the party gets to have a full national process that brings in people from right across the country and makes a determination about the best person to carry the progressive liberal standard into the next election.
Can you clarify whether ministers who would like to campaign for your job will have to step out of cabinet? And how can the Liberal government be in a position to protect Canadian businesses and Canadians from the threat of tariffs from incoming President Donald Trump when members of the government are going to be focused on who's going to be taking your job?
The government will still, and the cabinet will still be very much focused on doing the job that Canadians elected us to do in 2021, which is fight for their interests, stand up for their well-being, and make sure that they are good and that Canadians are protected and strong. There will be a leadership process and the rules will unfold over the coming weeks, but I can assure you that the tools and the need to stand up for Canadians, to protect Canadians in their interests and continue to fight for the economy is something that everyone in this government will be singularly focused on.
I can say that the rules and conditions for the leadership of the Liberal Party will be discussed in the following weeks. The government that was elected to protect Canadians and their interests in a very complex world that was elected in 2021 will continue to work with a focus and a singular emphasis on working in the interest of Canadians, while the party itself does what's necessary in order to go through leadership process. Thank you.
Merci tout le monde. Merci d'être ici dans une belle journée d'Ottawa. Bonne journée.
And that is Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada and leader of the Liberal Party of Canada, announcing that he will not hold that job much longer. Hello, I'm Rosemary Barton, Chief Political Correspondent. Here.
Okay.
Bombshell. Oh, I mean, the worst kept secret, but still, to hear it out of his mouth is still shocking to me. And he had to take a deep breath before saying, I am resigning.
All right.
A lot of men, WhatsApp has gone insane. People are like, about time. Finally, now we can move on. Bye, Felicia.
Well, okay. So a few things. I want to catch up on, there were a number of comments as usual from you, family. So let's start off. Sean DeFreitas. Hey, Sean, he goes, so happy to see the back of this tool. God.
Wow.
He goes, worst thing to happen to Canada. He goes, biggest liar and fraud ever. He says, man, hearing his voice makes me physically ill. Fitness IQ Can goes, Jesus, the fact that he said it back in French, word by word, ideally, well, he bilingual country. Samantha goes, climate change, abortion laws, privatizing healthcare. This is all stuff Pierre has brought up. She also says, my generation, and she's 18 years old, is divided half and half. Most of us don't like Trudeau, but we do not like the rights being taken away. Yes, the economy is a big factory, but human rights mean more to us. Boy Wanda says, so how does this affect the Black community? In fact, we need to do a conversation about that. Okay, my scrolling here also says, and then says, does it? Yes, it does affect the Black environment. I like saying the word environment. Samantha goes, lots of millennials and boomers are the ones not liking Trudeau, but they don't realize what they vote will now affect Gen Z, Alpha, and Beta. Wanda says there's no vice prem. There's no vice prime minister. No, we don't. Same different system. We're a British system, not an American system. Dalton goes, prorogation halts all parliamentary committees, which could temporarily shield the government from ongoing investigations or criticism. Prorogation could provide the Liberal Party time to organize a leadership race without immediate parliamentary pressures. Bowanda says, that conversation y'all were having about the U.S., the leaders don't have proper successors and don't align them for instances like these. Michelle Buckland, wow, first time we've seen you on here. My major concern is this will leave marginalized communities if conservatives win. You never know what conservatives intend to do. They are always vague and only complain about other parties. Well, that's what most parties do. They complain about each other. Ryan said, why would he call an election? Yeah, why would he? What? I didn't get that.
Yeah, people are saying like, and one person yelled as he was walking back into the house, oh, why didn't you resign sooner? Listen, this is not normal. Like, I don't know what people are understanding. This is not the way that leaders typically come down from power. So it wasn't like, I'm sure this took a lot. I mean, look, the MPs were calling a meeting today. They've been writing letters. Chrystia Freeland had to resign to show that she's serious. Cabinet people are leaving. So much pressure had to be put on this guy. So he couldn't call an election now because that would be the most disastrous thing for the Liberal Party, because the leader does not have the full backing of all of his party, and there's no successor. So he had to give time for a new leader to be chosen, and then this next 3 months while Parliament is prorogued, they have to understand that when it does come back in session, there is a high probability there'll be an election. So everything they're doing now is really them campaigning that they can win the next election. It's not just that they're going to be the leader of the Liberal Party. They're campaigning to say that they can beat or at least bring back the Liberal Party to some respectable, not popularity, the polling that they keep doing, like increase their likability in the polls. Like that is what they're campaigning for this next 3 months. And then when the election does happen, if they lose badly, then there might be another leader to be selected. Remember, we went through this with the Conservatives because they attempted maybe 3 or 4 leaders to get one in place to finally take on Trudeau and win the next election. So they still haven't even done that. So now it's to say it might flip where the Liberals are going to be going through different leaders to see who can actually get them back into the position of power.
Boy Wanda says, they all snakes, fam. Which poison you choose is up to you.
And I saw that comment. But remember, these snakes, if you want to call them snakes, are in charge of our money. Like the government is a treasury for all these taxes that we pay, and they get to decide where that money goes. So we definitely have to pay attention, because if we're going to just let snakes, as you call them, run wild, like what kind of, like that to me is worse than paying attention and at least trying to keep them accountable.
And you said they are in charge of our money, so we best pay attention. Dalton says it's time for Canadians to have voice. Elections are needed now sooner than later. That's what the public wants across Canada. Dalton Haynes, yes. Wow, what a day in Canada. Well, I say wow that we were able to broadcast it live. And I would say we're one of the few, maybe the only Black-owned online source that broadcast it live. Didn't say we're the only one. We're one of the few, big time, that broadcast it live. Oh, so he also says, Boy Wonder says, with swag son. Don't know what that means. Merrill Africa, good to have you here.
Wow. Hey, Miss Africa, good to hear from you.
It says Canadian Conservatives are going to FAFO. Now, I didn't know what that acronym meant. I looked it up during the press conference. I can't say that language on the platform. So can.
Don Lemon says that a lot. So if you watch Don Lemon, you'll know what that stands for.
Yes.
Also, Roland Martin, I think, says it.
Yeah. So if you don't know what that means, put FAFO in your favorite search engine. Presenter, you'll get the meeting. The same way MAGA did once 47 got elected. Hopefully the Liberals find a good leader and win the election later this year. Boy Wanda says, so as a people, when we have decided on money, I'm not 100% clear on that. You have to give more context. Today, Bill says he made the right choice and thanks for broadcasting it live. With the G7 meeting coming up in June. Oh my gosh. we need a leader that has the respect of stakeholders across board. Wow.
And as we were debating, it was one of two paths. Either he needs to get the entire party to fall in line behind him,
that wasn't going to happen.
He had to step aside. And
he wasn't going to get that. No,
I think he tried his best though to get people back on board, and
but it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it fell apart.
No, it wasn't going to happen. So this leads to a number of interesting things. Dr. Vibe is now going to start rallying the forces because we want to have political conversations on the platform. So I know Bawanda says you spoke about the snakes and money. So when has the Black community ever spoken to politics about money? Very interesting comment.
Conversations are definitely being had. I mean, Operation Black Vote, that's their entire mandate, is to get the Black community talking about politics so that we can understand what's happening with our money.
And you know what? That's another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to reach out to Operation Black Vote today to see if they'd like to collaborate and have conversations about what's going on in politics. So, and also Operation Black Vote is having an event for Black men in politics.
Hopefully Michael Couteau will be there. MP, you want to ask him live? Is he throwing his hat into the race?
They're having an event. They were supposed to have it last year and they postponed it.
Oh,
gotcha. But I will see if I can find it right now. It's on a Saturday. It's in Toronto. I'm going to be attending part of it. But I'm going to be reaching out and say, hey, would you like to collaborate on online conversations about the upcoming election, what's going on in politics? We'll see. We will see how that stands. I'm going to just see if I can find the information for people. No, I can't. I'll have to go to this. But yeah, so everything is happening at the right time. Michelle Buckland says we are going to have a vote based on policy versus popularity, but still, where does that leave the Black community? Woke, scraps of DEI and the U.S. influence and partnerships, and current business fundings. Boy Wonder says where and when. I'm going to get that information before that we leave today. And he says, how is this event being outreached? I'm going to find that because they were supposed to have it, and I guess because I'm on their mailing list, I found out. But if I wasn't on their mailing list, I wouldn't have found out.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't have.
Again, the reporter asking, "Oh, what was your fondest memory as being prime minister?" Sure, that's like, let that be on his farewell tour. You can ask him about his next or his fond memories. Right now, I want to know, who does he endorse to be the next leader?
And also too, will he be out on the campaign trail for anybody?
Is he going to run still for his seat? Is he still?
Yeah, there you go.
Right, he didn't say he's not running in the next election, so it sounds like he'll be around. And now I'm curious to know, would he back Chrystia Freeland after she pulled that stunt? Because if it's her race to lose, is he gonna fully support that campaign? Who would he support? Maybe he'll support MP Michael Couteau, because I'm gonna send him a text message and see if he's throwing his hat in the race.
And also tell him he'd like to come on.
Yes, hey, we should send a message to all the MPs that have been on before.
You know what? Yeah, and he's part of a group. He is part of a group that it's of Black MPs right across Canada.
Black caucus, right? Parliamentary caucus, right?
I'm just trying to see if I can find
Africa.
that thing about the Black men. Where is it in my email? I gotta find it. Okay. Woo! We got more stuff coming on. Oh, look who finally finished breakfast. Christopher. Well, just got back from breakfast. Canadian politics just got more interesting again.
You choke on your orange juice?
A lot of mercy. Yeah, so we go. We just got back from breakfast. Canadian politics just got more interesting again. Michelle Buckland goes, okay, and connect forgot other marginalized communities, people with disabilities and Indigenous. So she's a part of that community. Ryan, Meryl says, Ryan, when are you running for office?
Hey, apparently I just found out anybody can run for the leader of the Liberal Party. So I might just throw my hat in. I am 100% joking. Give me 10 years. I got some work to do before.
Boy Wonder says he doesn't have a choice but to support. He says if Trudeau does not have a choice but to support. He doesn't have to.
Hey, this is where language becomes very important, because I bet you he will not fully endorse her, but he won't say anything negative about her. But if he doesn't want to like show that he's just fully on board with her campaigning, because if he is, he would, like you're saying, I support whoever it is and I fully endorse them, but I bet you he won't say anything until after they're selected. He's gonna play that, oh, I can't pick sides, this is a family, so I'm not gonna endorse.
Okay, I've got some I'm starting to get some information. There's a Black Men's Political Summit that Operation Black Vote is happening. It's on Saturday, January 25th. I'm going to see if I can bring it up in Eventbrite. It's being held downtown, 40 King Street West, Suite 5800, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So
this is going to be a hot ticket. Get your tickets now.
I've got mine. I got mine already.
It's gonna be a hot ticket. We got to be there. And I hope Boy Wonder is going to be there so we can talk about engaging in politics. I don't think it's a closed session, right? It's open, public.
It's all for men. It's just Black men, because they've had things like this for Black women before.
Gotcha.
Okay, let me just see if I can provide a link on Eventbrite. Why is it so hard to find? Like, now here's the thing that disappoints me. I'm disappointed. You go on their website, there's nothing about it.
Yeah, and they need some interns to keep their website updated.
Yeah, like they have nothing. Info center. Let me see upcoming elections
this month, like that. Yeah,
it's a few weeks.
That should be front and center on their website for sure.
Like you can't find it on their website. It's not on. So what I'm going to do?
Ooh, you think Greg Fergus would put his name in the hat? Current Speaker of the House. That'd be an interesting person to run. Who else? Marcy Ian's a bit early. Ariel early as well.
Okay, hold on. So I'm multi-purposing now. I love my producer. So just give me a second. Okay, she got okay. Go to watch. Okay, we got this. All right. Let's see if I can find it again. I do have an invite to this event, but I just want to find like where the original. Let me just see. Oh, let me go back. Okay, hold on. I think I may have found something here. Let's see if I can go. Okay. All right. I think we have view event details. All right. See if we can make this happen. All right. No. So you.
Okay. But isn't it if you just Google on Eventbrite?
No, I've tried to do that, and it's not user friendly. So let me try something else here. But family, so while the press conference was going on, I was multi-purposing. I did send a text message to Ms. Chapman. Yeah, the link doesn't work.
Unbelievable. But,
No, it's believable. I'm going to try again on something else here. Let's see. Let me just see. Okay. No, it does work. Okay. The link does work. All right. Good. So what we're going to do, I'm going to see if I can put it up on a shared screen, but Operation Black, they're getting free plug. And then I'm not even, and then
there's time before the event that they can get on the show so that we can let people know about what's happening. So is it on their website?
No, I didn't find on their website, but I'm going to share screen right now on the event. Okay, share screen.
And put the link.
I will put the link
so I can get
in the chat.
Ticket.
Yeah. So there you go. Operation Black. And this was announced before the events of today. So it's Saturday January 25th, 11 a.m. 6 p.m. And it lasts 7 hours. I can't go for the whole thing. I'll probably be able to go till about 3 o'clock because I've got a show to do at 5 o'clock to be back in. But I think that should be enough time. So it's for Black men. Black Men's Political Summit. If it isn't sold out, something's not right. Okay, so I'm gonna take it off. Well, I'll take it off the screen, and I'm gonna share the link in the comment sections. Well, I can't share it on Ryan's because I don't have access to it, but I'm gonna share the link and also put it on the screen. So just Ontario. No, this is Operation Vote Canada. Operation Black Vote Canada. Black Men's Political Summit.
And I'll put this into my WhatsApp for those that are following along.
Oh, well, we will know why if it's not sold out. Will be interesting. On January 25th, 2025. This is probably too much text. The link may be long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a short link for it. Toronto. I'll get a short link for it. Okay. All right. Let me do this. So this is doing things on the fly, family. So I'm appreciating your patience. Okay. Let me just see. Okay. Customize your link. Okay. That's the link. Okay. Copy.
Well, as we're reading that, I wanted to read this comment that I saw, which is good. Dalton was saying, whoever becomes leader in the Liberal Party will be the sacrificial leader, as it appears the party will be crushed in the upcoming elections. So that's something interesting to take into consideration. The person coming in knowing
whether they've got to think about long-term and building back the party, not short-term. You're looking for a long-term game. Okay, so for anyone who's watching on any of my platforms, which is the Dr. Vibe Show Facebook, the Dr. Vibe Show on LinkedIn, the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, the Dr. Vibe Show on Twitch, the link is there. Now I will share the information to everyone else via my via the screen. So I've got to see, so I basically got to physically type this out again. So let me just do this. And for those who see the link, can you tell me, just confirm that it works? So I'm just
typing. I clicked it in and it worked.
It worked?
Yep. But it's weird when you go to Eventbrite, it doesn't let you search it.
Well, as long as the link works, it takes you directly there. That's the most important thing. Yeah, so lots of homework for Dr. Vibe today. So one thing down with the missing Black boys. And we're gonna also, after this conversation,
very glad to hear those boys were found. That is a great update that we were able to give. So,
which we didn't hear. We only heard about on January. Thank goodness I've done 5,000 of these things so I can multi-purpose Toronto. Okay, so we're gonna put this banner on the screen. There we go. That is the link for Black men. Emphasize Black men to attend. So now back to more comments.
So a little bit about it. Hold on. So this summit aims to highlight the importance of Black male voices in shaping political discourse and policy outcomes. We will bring together Black men with diverse backgrounds and experiences to discuss critical issues, build solidarity, and develop actionable strategies for political engagement and empowerment. So it'll include panels, workshops, and keynote speakers, and apparently lunch will be provided. So that's great because it is a free ticket. So it looks like they will still feed you. So that's good to hear.
So Let's catch up on comments. So you see, I do have experience of doing this stuff, family. So Boy Wonder says, who's invited? You found out now. You got the link too. Send it, Doc. Doc has sent it. He says, whoever comes to the, well, you've mentioned that comment. That's done. Frequency says, so what I hear you saying, Ryan, is that the Trudeau might be deferring his political presence and the loyalty for the Liberal Party. That's what I had said.
Not the Liberal. I'm saying for a specific person. He won't. I don't think he's going to lean into a specific person and endorse.
Okay. Fitness IQ Cam says, well, we'll know it why if it is not sold out. It better be. Boy Wonder, Dr. Vibe, I will connect you with you on having a similar conversation with the city of Toronto and confronting, yes, black racism off on the topic of missing. Thank you. Do you have my Boy Wonder? I appreciate. I hope you look. Can you reach out to me via email? I'd like to have an offline conversation today, not one day, today. That's another thing for 2025 people. Stop making one day, make it today. All right, DJ Elegance, what is up? I see your post in the WhatsApp. Actually, I'd like to have you on one day, DJ Elegance, either on this platform or on the Black Men Can Talk platform.
Nice, yes.
Trudeau is simply creating distance so that the Liberal Party doesn't have to lose more seats in the House. I agree with that. He has set, now this part is a matter of opinion. He has set the party back 15 years in Canada also with his terrible money management and policies. Well, I'd like to get your take on that. That's an interesting, like everyone has an opinion. So this is a safe and brave place that you can do it. Yeah, there we go. So we got some more comments here. Okay. Well, Wanda says the link works. Fantastic. No, just copy and paste. I'd like to copy and paste, but the link is so long that I said, this is something that you taught me, Fitness IQ Cam. Let me get some water.
Oh, that's excellent. Mini on Cam says, so what about women being invited? So
okay, hold on.
Did do a
They've
women's
done
version.
stuff for women. They have done
So
stuff for women.
I'm sure they're
before.
going to do another one. Yeah.
Okay, but she says no, just copy. Well, the link, you want to make things as easy as possible for your viewers. Shorter links, easier. Instead of them having to copy a big long link and maybe missing it, shorter links. Just my thought. Okay, Dalton says yes, the link works. Well, the news is breaking now. We helped break it. We were on.
Yes.
We were on in real time. Also, Fitness IQ, what about someone who identifies as a man? Ooh.
I'm sure they won't be
let them handle that. All right. She goes, I'm stirring the pot. You always like to do that. And what about women being invited? They've held events for women. And I'm sure they will held more. So however, Dr. Vibe, go back to the messages before the breaking news. I don't have time at the moment. Thank you very much. I'll go later. Go Boy Wonder. I'm Osborne's brother. Oh, you're Paul.
Okay, nice.
Let's please. Can we do that today? Would like to reach out and get definitely as many people involved from our environment on this because the election is basically started now.
True.
It is started now, right? It started out. Boy Wonder says, I got you. Good. Frequency of Everyone says, thanks for the news coverage here, Dr. Vibe. Thank you for all being here and supporting. When I ask about what women's invited, you were both talking at the same time. I didn't hear the answer. Well, I hope we gave it, that they've had events for women, and I'm sure they will have them for women also. But now this is an opportunity for Black men to step up. True. At least in the Greater Toronto area, to step up and show out. We have a change in leadership. We're going to have a change in the country.
Absolutely. We have to be engaged. Like we can't let things just happen to us. We have to be purposeful in politics. At least pay attention.
She goes, I heard it now, plus good. My MP just emailed out. She is hosting a user event. I will attend that. There you go. It's happening now. The fire is on. This is a lot of fire going on. So a number of things, family. Again, Prime Minister Trudeau is going to resign. There's going to be a new leader of the Liberal Party. If you didn't catch it out, you can go on other sites to catch a press conference. You can catch it here. We simulcast it. And again, I got to say thank you to CBC to that. And thank you. We pay for CBC. So it's our tax money. So there we go. And so definitely, I know this Sunday on Black Canada Talking, Cesar Nadiba Musa, he will definitely be talking about that. He will definitely. And as I said, you know what? If you're a Black Canadian, what we should do, Ryan, is we should have a number of different political conversations on this platform with different people.
Absolutely. That could be a stapled specific day of the month. I think would be good.
Regularly, we have a invite. So if you are interested in coming on and talking about the Black Canadian political situation, I'll even take Black Americans on too, because it'll be a good conversation to get there. And yes, let's see. Even my counselor resigned this morning. It's the day of people quitting. Oh, wow. Your city councilor resigned? Who is that?
Wow.
That's interesting. Now, does your council have future political plans?
Going for a liberal leader.
And Dr. Chai says, can't wait to hear what Cesar has to say about this. I can't either. Okay. And she shows mental health counselor. I don't get that. Boy Wonder says, beautiful platform for Black environment. I love your word. That's my word, environment. Not C word, environment. You should make a special series. We're already on that. We're going to make, okay, look at this. You guys should get Curtis Vermont on the show. He used to have a podcast about Canadian politics and the Black community. Okay, so can you email me or give me that name via, I know you, Meryl, you're a LinkedIn person. So if you can send me that, that'd be great. Oh, so many says my mental health counselor quit on me this morning. Ouch. But Meryl, first of all, Meryl, I hope you're doing fine. You and your family doing fine. Second of all, I'm still waiting for your appearance on my platform. Let's not make one day. Let's talk about it 2 day. Right? That's so we'll do. Appreciate, because I want to. I'm started from now. The gates are open. Oh, Ashton James, what? No, long time no see. Glad to hear you guys are convening.
Hey, Anton.
It's going to be a very interesting time for the Black community. Cheers, Anton. Anton, would you like to come on and give family? Most of our people, we love our politics or politricks. This is your time. This is your platform. Let's run with it. Let's run with it, 100%. People.
Awesome.
Most of you should know how to get a hold of me. Reach out to me and even if it's just one person wants to come on about the Black Canadian political situation and the current environment in politics, I'm here. No excuses. You know where I at. No excuses. But so definitely Ryan and I are going to have a number of offline conversations on how we're going to roll with this. This one thing great about an election, it's great content. It's great. You don't have to work for your comp. Okay, love to come on and discuss. Okay, so Anton,
confirmed.
How soon would you like to come on? Like I can give you a date right now. Let's connect. See, now here we go. Let's connect soon. What does soon mean? When? Like soon could be next year. No, I want time. I want time. Like don't let Dr. Vibe come chasing you after you. All right, you say, let me know. Okay, I'm going to throw out a date for you right now, Anton. See, we're doing this live. I'm going to throw you out a date right now. Anton says, okay, could do it this week. This week ain't going to work because we've got, unless Dr. Tachi wants to push back. No, I do want to get Dr. Tachi. Okay, so and next Monday, we have Carolyn. So I'll tell you the date. I'm going to say a date right now and see if it works for you.
But next Friday should be all right.
The week from this Friday would be available. So that would be what day?
Yeah.
A week this Friday. But I'm thinking also having conversations throughout the week, not just specifically on if we can get Monday and Friday as our priority, let's get those filled. Anything on top of that would be fantastic. So I'm asking, so Anton James, are you available on Friday, January 17th at 9 a.m.?
Nice.
Okay.
And
so, okay. So, do you want Anton on Friday?
No, because Dr. Tachi, we're doing the review of 2024.
Yeah, but no,
Can't
Dr.
push
Tachi,
that
no,
too far.
we gotta do you now. We don't want to push it too far because I'm speaking. There's going to be a lot of people that want to be on, and I don't want to push you that far back. So I appreciate your kindness, but no, you are this Friday. You've been so sincere, pushing dates back. No, because we're going to do 2024 review in April. No,
right?
No.
Absolutely.
So Anton, I'm waiting for a response because then we can slot it right in. We can let's slot it right in. And I know Minnie on cam for her appearance at the end of this month. She'll have a take on it from the disabled community perspective.
Yeah,
So
we should ask Michelle Buckman if she can come on at the same time.
Michelle, yes, Michelle Buckland. Yeah, we could have both of them on together.
Yeah,
that would be cool. So Ryan and I are going to go into our digital Rolodex, and we gonna get some people on. We gonna get some. Okay. Let me check. A lot of client meetings, including some traveling. Let me connect with my team and confirm. But let's tentatively book. Okay. So what I will do, Anton, is I'm pretty sure I got an email address or your phone number. I will text you after this conversation and just say, and because it's been a while since you've been on the platform, it's always good to have you back. Anton James, I believe I have your phone. Yeah, I do have your phone number and your email address. So I'll send you an email and a text message to see if that works. So Mignon Cam says Michelle who? Well, Michelle Buckland is certainly an advocate for the disabled community. She is very proactive of making sure that especially websites and companies are compliant when it comes to those who have disabilities. But
disability with online and in-person building.
Yes. But what I would do is, if we were going to have both you on, I'd have you introduce you both to each other first to make sure you're aligned with each other. So I wouldn't just bring her on without, because that basically is your space. I wouldn't invite anybody on unless you were comfortable with them. So that is going to happen. So Anton James is going to be tentatively for the 17th. See, the content's going to fill up. So Ryan and I are going to have a meeting. We're going to go down a list of people.
Yes.
No, we're going to get a list together. Elaine says, isn't it 2025? Yes, it is 2025. Did I say 2024 somewhere?
A review of 2024.
Review. Yeah, so no, she's going to review 2024, Dr. Tachi, this Friday, in regards to media, tech, and pop culture. All right, so Mignon says, good. Another podcast had me on a panel and didn't do a pre-show prep. It was a nightmare, and they went on live with anyone. Yeah, well, that's one of the things. Preparation. So especially any new friend that comes on the platform, I at least have a chat with them best before we actually go on, like a week or so before, or I ask them to log on a few minutes early so we can just have you settle down, relax, etc. So don't worry, we won't just put someone on but definitely reach out. But we're going to reach into our digital Rolodex, and I may send video messages to all these people.
That might be, I think when I'm streaming it to my audience, I put 2024. Thank you for catching that, Wayne. I just fixed it. Hopefully it fixes.
Boy Wonder, looking forward to Dr. Tachi. We're looking forward to Dr. Tachi. And the nice thing with Dr. Tachi, she is based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. She did her undergrad at the University of Buffalo. So unlike a number of Black or African Americans, she does have a little bit of understanding of Canada and Black Canada, especially Black Canada. Okay, so Elaine says, good. The thumbnail shows 1624. Thank you. Absolutely, we got your back. And Boy Wonder, I hope you're subscribed to the channel. I hope you're subscribed to the channel. And anyone who's on my platform, I hope you're subscribed to the channel. I'd appreciate it. You know, let me just see if we've gone over 1630. I just want to see if we're gone over 1630 subscribers. Just curious on what's going on today, because you want to
go for 1640.
1640.
Is it 30 or 40?
We're 1640.
Okay,
We are
that is
one
the
away.
target this month.
We are
Whoever is
one
not
away.
subscribed, be the one.
We
Be the
are
one.
one away from 1,640 subscribers. So
Be the one.
that is so. Just out of curiosity, folks, this has been the longest morning vibe we've ever done. Jeez.
Record breaking. Started 2025 strong.
Wow. See, and this all happened because Ryan's here. If it was I by myself, no one would come on. No one could come on.
Yeah.
So Fitness IQ Camp says, LOL, don't bully the people, damn doctor. I'm not bullying, I'm just suggesting.
Right.
Just making suggestions. And so here's okay. And she goes, I know we meet at 1 p.m. Yes, I have a conversation with Minnie in 53 minutes, but
I gotta hop on too. So we're gonna
do?
wrap it up. Yes.
Okay, so look, family. First of all, if you want to watch the replay of this, sure. But what I will do is I will put a timestamp on when we started our conversation about the election. So if you want to go straight to that, I will also be making a number of shorts from this because there's so much content from this, especially about the election. We'll have so much content and Fitness. And look how he chat about us, Minnie on Cam. Well, you two like to be my bosses, so especially you, Fitness Cam, you like to rule things. But amazing conversation again. It's always funny when we don't have a specific topic or a guest on or a friend where the conversation goes.
I'm telling you.
She goes, I was doing my routine and saw him live. Okay, well, us live, not just me. So a few things. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. But election talk. Next few months is going to be cray. Right? So
a leadership race and then a potential election happening.
All right. So please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show and hit the notification button. I'd love on Friday to hit 1,640 subscribers. That would be massive. All right.
Yes.
Second of all,
go ahead. Sorry.
So to advertise your business, product, or service on any of the platforms I'm on, email me dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. Again, join the Morning Vibe Discord group. You know I'm going to put the replay of this one up there. Okay. Then coming up on this Friday show, Dr. Tachi will be talking about 2024, the year in media, tech, and pop culture. Because if she doesn't do it this Friday, I don't think she's going to be able to do it to 2025. Next up, if you want to get a hold of Ryan Knight, his website, RyanO'NeillKnight.com, LinkedIn, Ryan O'Neill Knight, Instagram at Ryan.Knight99, email work with me, Ryan at RyanO'NeillKnight.com, and that's Knight with a K-N, not an N.
Yes, and for those, thank you to me on Cam for joining me last night on the Night Owl Show. So if you want to find me, 11 p.m., the Night Owl Show will be on.
Oh, what are you trying? Are you trying to compete with Shannon Sharp? Because he does the nightcap. He does that.
Right. The nightcap. Is that the one with
Ocho Cinco? Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
I
didn't know it was a specific time.
Yeah, they're on in around that time. If you want to get a hold of me, my website, the drvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show, Instagram at the drvibeshow.com, X at drvibeshow, email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow, and also I'm on Blue Sky. I still got to get there at dr.vibe.bsky.social. Also, you can watch replays of this epic conversation at the Dr. Vibe Show. It's scrolling on the bottom here if you're watching live on the replay. YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Afro-Caribbean Business Network on Facebook, and Ryan O'Neill Knight YouTube. Wow, this is okay. We got to finish, but we got still got a whole pile of things. We got final comments. Okay, so we're going to start. Okay, Minnie on Cam says, you've built an engaging audience. Thank you.
Listen, the audience runs the show. This took
I
us.
said they run things. Okay,
Yes.
and it says, and Ryan had a late night stream. I was there too, so you caught that part. You caught that too. Dalton Haynes, man, you guys are doing great at this. This is a day to remember in Canada, 100%.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Covered by Black media.
So Fitness IQ goes, what late night? She goes, Fitness IQ goes, what late night stream did you have? So tell people again, what's the name of the late night stream?
So it is called the Night Owl Show. It's a evening get it done podcast where I just try to find different AI tools, or I share. One thing I shared last night was setting up an email drip campaign for indoctrinating you people that just want to connect and download our funding spreadsheet. So stuff like that, and trying to figure out what this whole AI agent trend and wave that's happening. So yeah.
So here we go. I'm gonna actually. No, that's a different thing. But you know what? Interesting enough, when I searched it, you rank first.
If you put
as the Night Owl Show.
Yay, good stuff.
So I'm going to just show people I just going to show on the screen his second episode. That's here.
Oh no, that one I think it crashed.
Oh, okay.
The second episode was not good. Well, you can show it, but yeah.
No, I'm gonna show it. But the Night Owl Show. So it's KN. So search in YouTube KNIGHT space OLW, and then show and subscribe.
Please
All
do.
right. All right. Next up, Fitness IQ says, let me take off this share screen. I've got to check them out too. Yes. Fitness IQ has his Night Owl stream. Yes. Minnie says, it's getting things done stream. There you go. She also says, Cam, where people work on things while on a stream. She goes, I was up and went to bed at 2 a.m. and then
fellow Night Owl.
All right, says thank you so much for joining, fellow Night Owl. So there we go. All right, so we are done, and I got to download this immediately, and then oh gosh, I'm gonna have fun creating clips on this and commentary with more
Thank you
content.
to the interns. Thank you to the editors. That are
Man. All right, so what we're gonna say is live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. And remember to give yourself. And if you're not making money, make history. Ryan's got stuff to do. I got people to reach out, and we're going to have a meeting. I'm going to speak with Ryan right after this. When do we meet to get our Rolodex out to get people on? And if you have suggestions, tell us to get people on. So God bless. Peace to all. Keep the faith. And thank you for being with us live on a historic, or even on replay.
Yes.
And Black Canadians, we're part of the history too. God bless. Peace to all. Keep the faith. Walk good.